I said, plug me in. I got stuff to talk about, damn it. I'll crawl out of my earbuds once a week to give you a show. That's what I do, folks. I do this show for the common man, for the people in despair. I bring this show into the world and I sell it everywhere. The simple truth lies waiting here, folks, for all of you to share. Hold on, I will take you there. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt's 40-year-old boy podcast. I am staring at a feather. So you know how I feel like right now? I'm the Forrest Gump of podcasting. That's who I am. Because we're out on a bus bench. And I'm sitting next to actually in the movie he was sitting next to an elderly woman. I'm sitting next to a hot young lady stripper person. So I caught myself there because you would have hit me. Because as we know, Lily's she's having a time this month. And I'm not saying time of the month. I'm saying she's having a time this month because she is furious at the world and wants to engage in some sort of battle, which is fine.
Furious at the world.
It's okay that you are. There's nothing wrong with that because I'm furious at the world. You are much better than last week. That's because we came here and she was full of optimism. We sat down. She has a shirt with an elephant on it, and she was all excited about it. And she's thrilled. Yes, hello, it's Horton, and he's hearing. All right, here's what she's wearing. I'll tell you this right now. She's wearing a T-shirt that has Horton the elephant around a TARDIS, and he's saying hello because I don't know if you know what Horton does. He hears a who, and didn't he also have a feather? Like, wasn't there a thing with a feather with Horton? Yeah, right. And then so I'm staring at the feather. Look at the way this all tied in together, folks. And that was completely by accident. Look at the way the bees honed in there. I had a Gump bee meet a Horton bee. That doesn't make any sense. The Gump bee and the Horton bee, never should their paths cross. Bees are dying, by the way. I was in the fucking store. I was in Ralph's. Let's hope my bees don't die. That would be terrible. Although eventually they will. It'll just be me with just like one fucking bee, not even flying, just like walking around in my head. I'll have nothing to say. I'll have nothing to say. It'll be like last week when I was trying to fill time as Lily went ahead and fucking made that tiny link for the podcast fest. I got to be honest with you. I've been thinking about that for 7 fucking days. I don't know. I can sit here and talk like a dumbass. I can run downhill and just fucking rampage like I have no fucking brakes. I can unleash a swarm of bees on everybody about anything and everything. But when I was told to fill time, I stared at you and I was like, can we just stop like recording? Because I didn't know what to do or what to say because here's why. Because we were done. It was like last day of school. So I was essentially done with the show and I was just getting to the end and I kind of knew what I was going to talk about at the end. And so I just wanted to kind of get there. But then she stopped the fucking train and she's going, wait, I'm going to create and then took fucking 45 minutes to create a tiny link. And then even fucking worse than that, she created a tiny link, which I hate. I hate the tiny link. It should be the other one. What's the other one that you use? The Google one? I hate tiny. I don't want tiny in my name. I don't care, but I just don't want tiny in it.
Go create your own fucking
Well,
link.
I wanted to. I tried to stop you. I tried to fucking stop you, and all you did was rampage. And I'm like, dude, it's okay. We don't have to do it. And you're like, I go, you're recording, and you're like, tiny CC. I'm like, dude. Although I will say this, I did get a chuckle out of tiny CC when I heard it because I always think that there's a CC DeVille who's like really small from Poison. And he got shrunk down or something, and then he talks because again, if you ever heard CC DeVille talk, he talks like he's been shrunk down. He's got that really high like that. There's an album by him, a band called Samantha 7. I've talked about that on here, dude. I remember when I got it, I was like, this is the greatest album of all time. And then I listened to it 3 times and I went, I fucking hate this album. Except there's like one fucking amazing song on that album. It's a song called I Hate Every Bone in Your Body But Mine. And he sings it, CC sings it. And by the way, I just heard a country song that's kind of like that. All right. Anytime you use like, because that's clever. Look, that's clever wordplay. Certainly clever wordplay for a guy named C.C. DeVille, and the C stands for clever. So he's clever DeVille. Not to be confused with Belle Biv DeVoe, who have of course told us many many times, and I think we've all taken it to heart. You can't trust a big butt and a smile. Which I don't. So let me ask you this: what makes those two as a combination dangerous? Because you would imagine if a woman had a big butt and she was frowning, she's essentially frowning because of the big butt, right? Isn't she upset about that? She's upset about the size of her keister. All right, you're making a shaky head thing. What's going on?
Because I have heard. No, I don't know. I'm confused.
By the way, when Belle Biv DeVoe told us that we couldn't trust a big butt and a smile, what was the name of that song?
I don't remember.
I'm so disappointed in you right now.
I can't. I'm trying to maintain.
Remember how the feather tied in Gump and Horton?
Yeah, but
Yeah. Poison.
Poison.
Tiny CC. See what I did there?
Yes.
God damn it.
Oh, I suck.
I know you don't suck, really. I mean, I just was kind of hoping you'd say it so there would be like, yay, we'd all celebrate. But instead, now I had to like kind of stop the train and go, hey, I'm brilliant, which is stupid because I'm not really brilliant. I just tied poison into poison. I don't know, whatever, that's fine. But I can tell you this, me and the crew used to do her. All right, so. All right. That was terrible. I tried to do a drum there, and it was really awful. And you know what? I'm sure you heard that. That was excessively spitty. Like for some reason, I kept it up even after the first. Oh, and I did it again, and I just like a burst of mist just came out of my mouth. Dude, I'm the great Kabuki, but it wasn't green. The mysterious green mist. I love it. I've talked about it on the show many, many times, folks. I love it. I love the mysterious green mist. That's a great name for a band, by the way. The mysterious green mist. It has to have the mysterious green mist. That's what the fucking Muppets should name their band. Fuck Dr. Teeth. All right. So I'm serious. What? Because it's called what? Dr. Teeth's and Dr. T and the Medicine Show. Dr. Teeth and Emmett Otter and their All-Star Jug Band. Right? Isn't that what it's called?
Well, Emmett Otter and the All-Star Jug Band is not the same as Dr. Teeth.
What?
It's the Dr. Heath and the Mayhem.
The Electric Mayhem.
And the Electric Mayhem.
It should be Dr. Teeth and the Mysterious Green Mist.
No.
Yes, it should.
No.
Just because of Janice. Ugh. Not a fan of Janice.
I was Janice one year.
I love you as Janice.
Oh, I hate you right now. You don't love me.
You hate everybody. Including me. I'm on the list.
No,
You're on the list.
Doing better this week.
You just made the death list, winger. Boy, this is a lot of nothing. So, hi. I should probably talk about something, right? Shouldn't I? Although I don't know why this week should be different than any other week, for fuck's sake. Literally, this show is just me vomiting up pop culture references, movie lines, and song lyrics. That's what this show's become, structured around sadness of a life. I mean, it's just that, really. You know what? This show is essentially the verbal equivalent of a hobo sleeping under Entertainment Weekly. That made me laugh. God damn it, on the fly? Fuck that. I just redeemed this entire show. Doesn't matter what the fuck happens from here on in. Doesn't matter what happened before it. I don't fucking care. That was awesome. This show is the verbal equivalent of a hobo sleeping under copies of Entertainment Weekly. God damn it, I'm great. All right, hi. I don't even want to do a show after that. I mean, literally, that cleaned it up. That was your grand slam. How do I lead with my grand slam in the first inning? Now I got to play the rest of this game? I literally have a 10-0 lead in the first inning. I don't want to play the rest of this game. Let's call a slaughter roll. This podcast is a slaughter roll right now, and I just reached it. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
No.
Slaughter roll. But you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to get out of here today. I won't lie about that. I'm excited to do a show. Certainly, I love doing this podcast. But also, I have a week. I have things to look forward to this week. But I'm having a bad week. This is weird, folks. I have a week that started out as a bad week, and it's going to end in a. Well, let's put it this way. I'm hoping it ends in a good week, but it also could end in a bad week. But that would also be a good week. But honestly, that pretty much describes every week everybody's ever had in their lives, right? I mean, it could be good or bad. You just don't know. Because that's the thing. We're all victims of fate. We're all walking around the streets waiting to see what's going to happen. Because, I mean, it could be like it's a good week where everything's fine. And then in a second, things can turn into a bad week. Like if you're on the street and you're whistling a happy tune and then someone drops a piano on your head, it's all of a sudden a bad week, right? It's a fucking bad week. By the way, let me say this. I have no idea why I picked Fatty Arbuckle's bad week to talk about on the show. I don't know why Buster Keaton burst in to have his bad week all over the airwaves. And boy, I'll tell you what, if you thought Fatty Arbuckle was having a bad week, how about Fatty Arbuckle's girlfriend on the boat? She was having a terrible week. Yes, I know, Fatty Arbuckle defenders. Pipe down. He didn't do it. Sure he didn't. Look, I'll tell you what, if you've ever reached the point in your career or your life where you have to go, hey, I didn't put a Coke bottle up a dead girl's vagina, things have gone so wrong that you deserve to have your career end anyway. Literally, if anybody out there would think that you were capable of such an act, then you don't deserve to have a goddamn silent film career any longer. Get lost. Take your fucking trick suitcase and your bullshit zigzag pool cue and your fucking ridiculous straw hat and mosey off into the distance while Laurel and Hardy kick you in the pants, the baggy fucking pants, and spray seltzer down your pants the rest of your goddamn life alone, in solitude. Because I'll tell you what, if anybody ever went, you know what? Found that young girl dead with a Coke bottle in her vagina yesterday. Yeah? Any leads? We're pretty sure it was that fat comedian that you see on TV all the time. By the way, Fatty Arbuckle, never on TV in his life. I don't know why TV popped into my head. The only way he's on TV is if they get me to replay him in some sort of recreation of the fucking incident. And I just come in and I fucking grab a Rudy Valley crooner fucking megaphone and just go, Vodio, don't know, and I jam the megaphone up some girl's vagina. And that woman, of course, would be Gretchen Mol. Because she'd let me. I think we all know that. She'd let me. That's her deal. You guys know that? You all know the story of Gretchen Mol? That's a terrible story. Like, she was like the next it girl on Esquire magazine, or somebody named her like the next big thing, and then she bombed. Like, her movie totally bombed, and then she had to become like a sex slave to the Weinsteins to get back into show business. It's the weirdest fucking story. Google it. I swear to God, it's out there. It's true. It's true. I tell you, it's true. They brought her to parties. It was like, remember when Zeppelin put a fish inside somebody? It was Gretchen Mol. That was who it was. They actually built a time machine to send her back there to get defiled by Led Zeppelin so she could get back into the movies. That's how the Weinsteins do business. The Weinsteins. I just go to the Weinsteins. I might go with the Weinsteins. Why don't I butcher this name 9 different fucking ways? They're the Weinsteins. Actually, you know what? When they sent her back in time to get violated by a fish, they were the Weinsteins because they were fake mustaches and they commandeered a time machine. Hello, I am Garvey Weinstein, and we want to send our daughter back in time. Well, who's this guy with you? That is my brother. What's his name? Gob? Garvey and Gob Weinstein. I should have got Tarantino to write the time machine script for those guys, probably. Their stealing of a time machine has third act problems. Actually, it has first act problems. The fake mustaches, the Garvey and Gob. By the way, if I don't start a podcast named Garvey and Gob, something is terribly wrong with me. How do I not do it? I need to start the Garvey and Gob show. And I know what you're thinking. Get Steve Garvey? No, I don't think so. I go the other way. I get Cindy Garvey. She's not doing anything these days. And she'd tell a whole bunch of stories about Steve. How great would that be? Her getting fisted with those giant forearms? Hey, maybe she got sent back in time by the Weinsteins. That's what happened to Gretchen Mol. Fuck a megaphone. Steve Garvey put a forearm inside of her. Jesus Christ. It was so funny. One time my friends, Max had one of the first music albums he ever did. He did an album with my buddies Jeff and Brian. And they invented a band called the Crazy Cats. And I'm trying to remember what song it was. It might have been Leroy Brown or something. They did a bunch of 70s songs. They did the Stuck in the 70s, but then they did another album. I think it was Stuck in the 70s. But they improvised like all sorts of instruments around the house. Because, like Max was a musician, Brian was a musician, and Jeff was my friend. So they just let Jeff get involved. And he wanted, I forget, he was shaking a container of rotini, like as a maraca in the song, because you can hear it like chick, 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 and it sounds like a maraca, but it's literally he's shaking a container of rotini. But the best part is that at the end, Max kept it on the album, like they finished the song, and Jeff just starts laughing, and he goes, Jesus Christ, he goes, shaking a can of rotinis, there's gonna be rotinis everywhere, and he goes, I got a big Steve Garvey forearm, and it made me fucking laugh so hard. So that's what happened to Gretchen Mol. Maybe my friend Jeff, after he recorded the album, put down the rotinis. Maybe he spilled the rotinis inside of her. Because she, let's face it. I mean, that vagina is not rotini tiny anymore after getting stuff jammed inside of it. But again, read the stories. That's what happened. I'm not lying. I'm not telling truth tales or tales that aren't true. If you Google it, go find the Weinsteins and Gretchen Mol. And there are terrible stories. Like, and again, who knows if they're true or not? I don't know. I heard them all in Brian Singer's pool. All right, so I'm not sure if they're true or not. That was just the scuttlebutt around Brian Singer's pool among people who didn't have cocks in their mouths. Which, by the way, I have to tell you this really quick. Like I said, I'm having a good week / bad week, which could be any week, of course. But I will tell you that because of right in the middle of this week, this good week / bad week. Today was grooming day. I'll tell you that. I got groomed all over the place. I had all of my hair taken care of all over the place. I think some of you know what that means. So of course I was with Renee. And Renee is he's our resident waxer. He's the official waxer of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. And I will tell you this, he got written up last week in the Hollywood Reporter. And he didn't even know what was going to happen. Like, I guess some dude that he waxes told the Hollywood Reporter, and it was like a guy who's like a big agent, told the Hollywood Reporter about his salon. So, I mean, he could be, I told him, I go, well, is that going to price me out? Are you like not going to see me anymore? And he's just like, oh, don't be like that. Of course not. I can't. That's my Renee. It's close. It's very close. I'm getting closer. The more I see him. All right. So anyway, and we see each other quite a bit. It's terrible. But he was telling me a story. I didn't want to. Whatever. It devolved into sex talk because that's what Renee talks about. So Renee is like, it's weird. I'll tell you what. Like sex talk with a gay dude is like fucking. It's like locker room talk, but it's like, it's bizarro locker room talk because his stories are all about getting a condom caught in his throat. I mean, like all that fucking weirdness. So he was telling a story about how he was talking about, all right, here's why. Actually, here's why. Because he was asking me, because he got a new table, like a new table to lay on. And he was like, oh, is it comfortable? And I said, yeah. And I said, I was in a massage parlor once and it was a table that was really high. because this table was really high. And he's like, oh, really? And he goes, what was that like? He goes, you went to a massage parlor? I'm like, oh, you're so naughty. And I'm just like, well, it didn't work out very well. It didn't happen to be any. And he's just like, well, what happened? So he made me tell him the story that I've told you guys about when I went to a massage parlor and Cookie Monster robbed a bank. So you guys know what's going on. So I'm explaining the story to him, and I said that that the girl was just like, what you want, and I was like, well, what do you got? And remember, she was like, do you want and she bobbed her head up and down, and I was like, I didn't know that was on the fucking agenda. So she said, do you have a condom? And I'm like, and I told Renee, I go, she asked if I had a condom, and he goes, oh no, and he goes, for a blowjob? Get the fuck out of here, a blowjob with a condom. I hate that. And I go, really? And he goes, oh. He goes, well, of course, you've never given a blowjob with a condom before. And I go, no, I haven't, but thank you for bringing it up. And he's like, no, I know you didn't, but I'm telling you, it's so terrible. He goes, because it has at the end, it has that little, the tip, and that tickles your throat the whole time. And I'm like, all right. And he goes, but even worse, he goes, if you give a blowjob with a condom on, all you taste is the rubber. That's all you taste is rubber. And I said, well, I got to be honest with you, Renee. If the alternative is cock, I'm going to go with tasting the rubber the entire time. And he just goes, oh, Mike, you're so hilarious. Because honestly, if you asked me to choose, if you were like, hey, dude, how about, would you rather like taste cock or taste rubber? 6 of 1. I'm going to go with rubber, okay? I'll lick a tire before I lick balls. That's what's happening.
Really?
Well, it depends. Depends on who we're talking about here. Because some guys get their trucks really dirty. All right, so. Maybe I compromise. Maybe I lick truck nuts. There you go. Maybe I do that. I just compromise. I don't have to worry about licking balls or licking rubber. I just lick truck nuts. Boom. I meet that's where the twain meet, baby. That's where the rubber meets the load. That's where the rubber meets the load. You know what? Fuck it. You got slaughter rule. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. I can't top that. I got Gretchen Mol getting fucked by Robert Plant and a fish. God damn it. I got Fatty Arbuckle getting a piano dropped on his head. What the more do you want from me, people? Last week, I fucking talked about Dragnet for 45 minutes. Now, I actually went further back in time to Fatty Arbuckle. You know what? I might have the Weinstein time machine. I may have commandeered it. Me, Garvey, and Gob could be going back in time to watch Dragnet get filmed. God damn it. I would totally watch Dragnet get filmed. Oh my God, would it be great. And then they brought Dragnet back, but they brought it back like a Law and Order. Why am I talking about Dragnet again? Stop, because I'm obsessed. I can't stop. All right, enough. So it's going to be a good week, but also a bad week. So this week I took care of the grooming is what I had to do. I had to go get my hair cut. And I had to cut like I had Natalie cut like 2 inches off the back of my hair because it was totally flipping. It was like flipping in the back. And no matter how much stuff I put in there to shellac it down, it wouldn't fucking work. Dude, the tips of my hair they're renegades. They don't fuck around. Like, I mean, because I covered them in sauce. Like I put, because I use a pomade, a loose ends pomade. And let's talk about that for just a second. I use this loose ends pomade from Redken. I have like 5 different hair care products. So I've eliminated one of them. I eliminated the Magic Shell because I was told that was damaging my hair. Well, I had this stuff that turned my hair into a skating rink. I mean, it was like literally that fucking crazy, glossy, thick. It gave me G.I. Joe hair. Just where it was essentially painted on, like it was just like slicked back. You know what it made me? It made me the villain in every 90s movie. It was like, that's who I looked like. Which is fine. I was happy to do that. And if Bruce Willis were to show up, I would tackle him in a fight. Let's go, man, me and you. I can be some fake fucking Cuban, Russian, Armenian assassin, whatever the fuck they got. Just me and Armand Asante, plotting, planning, getting fatter by the second, the two of us. That's what happened, because that's what happened to Armand Asante. Armand Asante was really good looking, and I think he played John Gotti in a movie, and he went, I'm going to put on a bunch of weight, and then just went, fuck it, I'm going straight Gotti the rest of my life. Like, he just didn't bother to hit a treadmill again or anything. He just sat around and smoked cigars and looked fucking kind of like hot but fat. Like, and which is, look, I'm familiar with that. Absolutely, I'm certainly familiar with that, hot but fat. That was the original title of this podcast. I have to be honest with you. The original title of this podcast was Fat But Hot. But now that I've lost all my weight, I'm going to go with Hot But Fat. Let's do that. Maybe I just call it Hot Fat. Let's just call this show Hot Fat. Actually, he was the cook on Bonanza. All right, so. Yes, Bonanza, because I cannot get my references out of the goddamn 60s and 70s. What the fuck is wrong with me? Holy shit. Do me a favor, play some songs. Some like, because I was telling, I told Lily last week that because like I like pop music. Like I like certain songs. I was upset. I was the one who broke royals in this country. I told you all about Lorde, didn't I? Perhaps that's not true. But when I heard it, I was fucking fascinated by it. I was obsessed with it. And I was like, I must hear this fucking song over and over. And so now I have like on my satellite radio, I have, channels 2 and 3 that play all the top 40 songs. So I'm obsessed now by Iggy Azalea, who is, well, first of all, she's fancy. I think we all know that she's fancy. She's quite fancy. At least this summer has taught us anything about her. She's fancy and she can work it. But I just love to see this tiny white girl and that voice come out of her. I think it's hysterical. It's like when Christina Aguilera used to really sing and you just be like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck did that happen? I mean, you couldn't ever be that sad or upset about anything. You were in the Mickey Mouse fucking club. I don't understand where this emotion is coming from. Although then I found out later on she was fucking goofy. All right, so.
Really?
Yep. And somewhere a hobo just woke up on a park bench and put Entertainment Weekly on his face. Schlunk. That girl is fucking goofy. All right. See, and that's why she had so much angst, because she was molested during the Mickey Mouse Club. I don't know if that was Woody Allen or Phil Silvers. I don't know. She was molested during the Mickey Mouse Club. Hey, what's with the little kitty bicycle? What are you, some kind of nut? That's great. Nothing brings this show into the 21st century than my Phil Silvers impression. Good Christ. So my point is, I like pop music. Was that my point? No, my point is that I used this Redken pomade on my head, on my hair, loose ends, and they took it away at the airport. And I was pissed because, again, it's like fucking. Here's why I was mad. I was mad they took it, but then I threw it up on Facebook, and I was like, once again, you have kept the skies safe from medium hold, whatever I said, because I'm funny. But not that funny, because 100 of you immediately came in and topped it because you're great. And America's open mic night. So they took it, and then I posted a thing on Facebook. But here's my favorite thing is some friend of mine wrote, "You paid $20 for hair gel?" And then, like, I think some people liked it. And then another one went, "Yeah, $20 for hair gel." And it was so funny. Like, I was like, I am not on trial here. Plus, when you get older, man, you got to do some sort of fucking alchemy with your head to make sure that it looks okay, for fuck's sake. Again, I'm a fat dude. I can't go bald. If I go fucking bald, I just look like a toe. That'd be fucking terrible. I can't have that happen. When you're a fat dude, you got to take care of your hair, or else everything goes fucking south. And also, that ties into why I'm ready to have a good week. I have to take care of my hair for other reasons at the end of the week. I need good hair for the end of this week, and I'll get to that in just a minute. Well, but what the fuck was I talking about? There was something else we were talking about, right?
You got waxed?
Yeah, I talked to Renee.
Renee and you discussed...
A lot of grooming. I had some grooming taken care of because the end of the week was very important, and I got Natalie to cut my flip off. Yeah, I talked about all that. Yeah, okay, we're done. All right, you guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
What's happening at the end of the week?
Well, I can't get to that just yet. That's a much later conversation. I can't tell people that. That's the lead. I'm burying the lead, as you know. I'm burying the lead like it was a fish in Gretchen Mall's vagina. That's how I'm burying it. I'm going deep. I'm going far and deep, and I'm opening it wide. Wide. I'm calling in Annie Sprinkle for help on this one. She's going to go ahead and just fucking take out the claw or the fucking, what is it, the witches thing? Well, I know it's called a speculum, but there's the torture device. What's that one called? Like the witch's umbrella or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a thing that supposedly they put inside people and then they twist it and then it opens it up like fucking crazy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think what's it called? The Proud Mary? I think it's called the Proud Mary. No, it's the witch's umbrella. No, I can't. God damn it. I don't remember what it is. It might be the goblin's mouthpiece. I'm not sure. It could be the goblin's mouthpiece. It's you know what? It might just be I think it's called a cunt lorry. That's what it might be called. That seemed aggressive. I apologize. I think let's go back to what.
Oh my God.
I could be wrong. In fact, I think I am. It's not a cunt lorry. It's not. It's a I believe it's a gash bellows. I think it's called a gash bellows. It could be. Are you sure?
That's not right.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure. I thought it was for sure. All right, so no, dude, fucking the pair of anguish. That's what it's called. The pair of anguish.
Yes, that's right.
Right? I'm right. Look it up.
I don't want to look it up. I remember.
The pear of anguish. That's awesome. Because it's a torture device. It was like carried by the Inquisition and stuff like that. They invented it. Those dudes invented it. The fucking Spanish Inquisition. And it's so funny because I've heard this. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. I got to be honest with you. If I know they're carrying the pear of anguish, I have my head on a swivel waiting for the fucking Spanish Inquisition to show up. Jesus Christ. Just knowing that they've holstered the pear of anguish and are ready to use it at any time. And by the way, I love pears. Why? Why would you slander them by putting them in the pear of anguish? You just go with a fruit I hate. Honestly, I love pears. Make it the peach of anguish. You know what? Because I hate peaches. Make it the peach of anguish. Holy fuck. Make it the watermelon of anguish. Because I hate watermelon. Oh my God, dude. That works on double levels. Because that's a fruit that I hate, and that's a great torture device. The fucking watermelon of anguish. There's really only one vagina in the world that can take the watermelon of anguish, and I think we know it belongs to Gretchen Mall. Just ask Garvey and Gobb. They'll tell you. The Weinsteins invented the watermelon of anguish, and they used it on Gretchen Mall just before Jimmy Page jammed a coho flounder into her. All right, so is there a coho flounder? Is that a fish? Because I remember "Insane Coho Lips" was a song by Steve Dahl when I was a kid. And I think it was because he was in Teenage Radiation. Why am I doing 6 Degrees of Separation with Steve Dahl? Nobody cares. Steve Dahl was like a DJ in Chicago, and growing up, we listened to him, and he was like our hero. Like, Max loved him and stuff. And you know what's funny now? Like, Jimmy Pardo is friends with him. It's the weirdest thing. Like, we all grew up listening to him.
I know him.
Well, you know him because you worked in radio for so long. But I'm saying, to us, it was weird and untouchable. You know, like in Chicago, dude, fucking Chicago was terrible for celebrities. Because that's why Michael Jordan, like I said, first of all, he transcended celebrity and he became worldwide. But also at the same time, if you saw Will Perdue at a restaurant, you'd be like, oh my God, it's Will Perdue. Like, people were so starved for any sort of celebrity in Chicago. Like, I used to make a joke about the fact that John Drury would be, like, he was a local anchor man. But if somebody saw John Drury at a store, they'd want his autograph. And it's like, dude, that guy reads a teleprompter. He's a fucking bag of bones, and he reads a teleprompter. It's like Fahey Flynn used to wear a bow tie, and everybody's like, oh, Fahey Flynn is the greatest. He fucking read a teleprompter his entire goddamn life. He died when he was like 97. I think he died on the air. I don't fucking know. Fahey Flynn was a goddamn anchorman, and yes, I guess he was a beloved anchorman and wore a fucking bow tie, but there's no such thing as a beloved anchorman. They're just fucking blow-dried idiots, and all they do is they fucking read a teleprompter. Who the fuck loves an anchorman? Honestly, look at yourself and think to yourself, oh my God, you know who I really love? Ron Majors. Nobody loves Ron Majors. Not even Mrs. Majors. You know who loves Ron Majors? Ron fucking Majors. That's the guy who really loves Ron Majors. There's a sports guy in Chicago named Mark Giangreco. He's been on the air for like 30 years, and everybody's like, oh, he's so hilarious, he's so irreverent. He's a fucking sports jackass. That's all he is. He reads a prompter. He might write a clever line here and there, but so fucking what? But because he's on television there and he kind of makes a smirky face, they're like, he's our guy. That's Mark Giangreco. Giangreco's fucking awful. Mike Toomey should have every goddamn air job in Chicago. Everybody else should be off the air. Mike Toomey should be, it was like a movie. He could run from studio to studio and do the news on every single station as a different guy. That's what Mike Toomey should do because he's a fucking genius. God damn it. As a matter of fact, Mark Giangreco, his nickname among newsmen, the Watermelon of Anguish. And if you need him, he'll be doing a sports cast from the studio they built in Gretchen Mall's vagina.
Oh my God.
I'm out of sorts today, folks. I'm a little out of sorts. I had a thing. Because here's the thing. I can't remember if I told you this thing that happened. I have a running feud. You ever see Family Guy when Peter Griffin fights a chicken? I have a chicken. And I don't know if I've talked about this chicken on the air before. I know I've told somebody else the story, but I don't know if I ever told it on here. But it's not really a story. It's just a thing. I have an enemy. Perhaps I have an arch enemy. There's a school by my house. And I swear to God I told this story on here before, and if I did, I apologize. But there's a school by my house, and it's, I don't know what it is. I think it's an all-ages school, like maybe a Montessori school. Which, by the way, if you want a torture device, get the Montessori mustache. Oh my God, is that awful. You don't even want to know what it does. Actually, the Montessori mustaches sounds like a barnstorming baseball team from the 20s. Like they would, literally, they would play the New York Negro League Wheat Kings, and there would be the Montessori mustaches in some battle at a tire factory out on the fucking field. All of the men who were too lame for the war would go ahead and join the Montessori mustaches, and they would barnstorm and play the Negro League teams. God damn it, Mex, make a Montessori mustaches uniform, please. Design the hat. I demand it. While you're at it, draw me a watermelon of anguish. Yes, all women. God damn it. Please, we need to make up the Montessori mustaches. We need that team. Just as a barnstorming team would be all those old time 20 dudes with the pillbox hats and just those and the thing is, it's the easiest design in the world. Max, you don't even have to fucking do it. I'll do it. It's literally just a burlap sack. These guys wear potato sacks. It's the fucking 20s. There's like black and white photography. Nobody has to fucking have any flourishes. It's a pillbox hat and it just says mustaches on it and they fucking have their fucking mustaches. That's it. That's the only thing. You have to be lame so you couldn't go and get drafted for the war and you have to have a stupid Raleigh Fingers mustache and then you have to fit in their burlap sacks and you go out and you play the Negroes in baseball at fucking tire factories at the back fields. Holy shit, that's hysterical. All right. Because you got to entertain the fucking Rosie the Riveters and the canning chicks. Because all the women were canning stuff. That was their whole deal. Like the men were off at war and all the women were making canned goods and building riveting guns. Or they weren't building riveting guns. Wait a minute. Wait, Rosie the Riveter did not build riveting guns. Rosie the Riveter was riveting guns, right? I can tell you what's not riveting. This anecdote. Get off the fucking Riveter story. Jesus Christ.
Not riveting.
Go back to the mustaches. All right. Wow, that was... Dude. All right, never mind. Lily just hurt herself putting a pen cap on. That was freaky. All right, so there's a school by my house, and it's an all ages school. That's the problem because closer to my house there's a high school, and that's a nightmare. Like, 'cause when I would come over here to do the show, it would be like 2:00 in the afternoon sometimes, and the school would be letting out, and I knew not to take this certain road because it was going to be filled with teenagers who were on their way to Taco Bell. I mean, it was just these kids carrying books, and I will tell you this, I can remember when I was in high school. And I mean, there were girls, like when I was a kid, man, there were girls you would see them and they were just like fucking, when you were in high school, they were amazingly hot. And I remember even then thinking they were amazingly hot. I've talked about it. But now if you saw them, you just, because I'm older and I know what women are and I've been with one or two, you just see these girls as girls. Like you didn't even really think about it, but I have to be honest with you, some of these girls have graduated into ladies, like all of a sudden. And So I go by the high school and I'm driving and you'll see, and I will tell you this too, by the way, and I'm sure this was the same thing when I was in high school. Every boy is a dork. Every boy walking with his backpack and his pants halfway down his ass and fucking, his hoodie on, or they're all dorks, all of them. And you look at these girls in their fucking yoga pants and their cheerleading outfits and you're like, how is teen pregnancy a problem? Because these girls could not be fucking these guys. I mean, absolutely not. They could not be fucking these guys. I mean, maybe a teacher slides one past the goalie every once in a while, and that's what's happening. But I just can't see them having sex with those boys. It's incongruous. But at the same time, when you look at me growing up, I'm sure it was the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's like, we thought we were great. We thought we were awesome. We thought we were totally cool. But there's really no reason that Mex should ever gotten his wife. I mean, he's awesome and stuff, but his wife is way out of his league. He'll tell you that. I'm not giving any secrets here. Mex will tell you clearly that he married way up. I mean, he's just, because he's just a dork like me. Granted, he's a good-looking dork, and that will come into play this weekend. By the way, I'm going to get into that. I'll tell you all about that later. This weekend is going to be a very important weekend. I'm adding way too much import to this weekend. So let's get back to my enemy. Anyway, there's this high school by my house, and when you're driving, I will see these kids walking, and like I said, every boy is a dork, and every these girls are girls, but at the same time, you can see that they are becoming like ladies. Like I said, they're wearing stuff they shouldn't be wearing. I saw a girl in a half shirt the other day, like wearing a bra under her half shirt, but her boobs were so big, you saw the underside of her bra hanging out of her half shirt. But she was also skinny. Like it wasn't. I mean, because you see people all the time, and you're like, man, she shouldn't wear that outfit. Dude, this fucking girl should wear this outfit every day for the rest of her life, literally, until I'll tell you that. She should wear that outfit until someone looks at her and goes, it's probably time to retire that outfit. Because then she's just going to look back and go, God, remember when I used to wear that outfit? I mean, because it was fucking awesome. Awesome. And granted, these are high school kids. And I'm not like, oh, my God, I got to give them a ride. But I mean, at the same time, I'm like, Jesus, maybe I should give them a ride. I don't really want to give them a ride. Shut up. But when you see them crossing the street in front of you, your head is on a swivel and because it's just weird. It's weird. I used to say like looking at women is like going to the museum and looking at really great art. Well, this is just like looking at finger paints. That's all it is. It's like looking at finger paints when these girls walk by. They're paintings that have been done and they're by somebody very young. Literally, those paintings were done by somebody very young. Probably some dope in his book bag and his fucking empty jeans. All right, so. And I sound like I'm mad at those kids. I'm not, because again, I was a dork in school. But I wasn't a dork. I was actually pretty cool. Fuck it, I was the greatest. What if I was? What if I was the greatest? What if I was the coolest guy in my school? Then I probably wouldn't be doing this show, right?
Probably not.
I'd do another podcast called The Pair of Anguish. How do I not do a podcast called The Pair of Anguish? Or The Watermelon of Anguish? But I do not want to tell you where I have to put your earbuds to listen to that show. All right, so. This chair is giving me problems. I don't like it. I'm getting all shifty. I know.
It's broken.
Yes, it's been broken for fucking months. I know. I'm supposed to buy a new chair. I know. Get off my back. I have no time for chair shopping. I've been too busy out looking for torture devices. I need to buy a peach of anguish. You know what? I can't buy a peach of anguish. I have decided I can't go name brand. I'm gonna have to buy a peach and I'm gonna have to buy anguish separately. I'm gonna have to fucking jimmy them together. I'll get I'll get a ratchet set and I'll get a peach and some anguish and I'll put it all together. That's what I'll do. I'll figure it out. Actually, I could probably make, because I know what the peach of anguish does. It's like, you put it in there and then there's like a key and you spin it around. Dude, you could do the same thing with just like, oh my God, you know what you could do? Here, you know what? You can make your own peach of anguish, and here's how. No, listen to this. Here's how. You ever go to a sushi bar and they give you those chopsticks that have like training wheels on them? Where they're like kind of springy? Dude, just get like fucking 10 pairs of those and then rope them together with a goddamn scrunchie and you got your own peach of anguish. It's perfect. And you're also going for depth with that one. This is awful. You know what's going to happen? Seriously, what's going to happen is they're going to find like some guy is going to do terrible things to somebody and he's going to have a homemade peach of anguish in his house and they're going to go, how'd you get the idea for this? He's going to go, well, it's interesting you would ask that. And then hopefully a piano falls out and lands right on his head before he says anything. And then a placard that comes in, where did that piano come from? Vodio, do. And then just Garvey and Gob hiding in the closet laughing and they climb into their time machine and disappear. All right, so I have this enemy. So there's the high school where there's a bunch of kids, but then they're all high school kids. All right. Well, there's another school. Like I said, it's the headquarters of the Montessori Mustaches. It's near the freeway on-ramp by my house. And it is a school that is it's got all ages. So when you park, when you pull up, crossing in front of you will be some girl who doesn't realize that her body is filled out and is wearing something inappropriate, and then 4 8-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's like they're all going to the same school, and you're just like, dude, look, I thought the kid with the book bag wasn't getting laid. There's no way those 8-year-olds are getting laid at all. At all, I hope. So at that school, and I swear to God I've told this story, there's a security guard, and he's out front, and he's basically decided that he's in charge of everything in the world, and the world consists of that one square block. Like anything that goes with the school, the kids, anything at all. He's like, he kind of is, he's just a dick. Like he'll walk out on the street. Like if anyone parks too close to the curb, he'll yell at mothers. He'll be like, no. And he won't let them like re-park. He makes them go back around the block and park. I mean, he's just a dick. Yeah. So, but you can see he's that guy. He's got his little fiefdom and he's in control of it. Well, one day I pulled up and I pulled into the crosswalk a little bit, and he was off on the sidewalk, and I saw him gesturing at me, and I was listening to music, and I kind of looked at him and I waved as very scantily clad girls and boys all walked in front of my car, young and old. It just looked like a Ringling Brothers of pedophilia. That's who walked in front of my car. Literally, it was just like this, and in the center ring, direct your attention to the 8 kids who are probably being touched at home. So then this guy's looking at me, and I see him talking to me. My windows are closed. I got my air on, whatever. And then he kind of like gestures, and so I roll my window down, and he goes, "Back up!" And I'm like, "What?" And I turn the radio on, and he goes, "Back up! You're in the crosswalk." I go, "We're good. Light's gonna change." And he goes, "Back up!" And he comes walking out in the street to my car. And I, of course, you know me, folks. I'm trying not to, and again, this happened a couple of months ago, by the way. I'm not trying to, Look, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better person. And just because you have some goddamn brown uniform and a badge doesn't mean that you run the fucking show and you're not the king of the crosswalk. And all those things pop up into my head. But the only thing I could think to do as he fucking shambled out from the front of the school, because he's trying to look tough in front of the kids, basically is what he was doing. And I picture, like, he doesn't know he's the object of ridicule of all of these children. You know, they all make fun of him all the time because he takes his job so goddamn seriously. It's like, dude, hey, fucking Paul Blart, get away from my fucking car. So he walks out, and he's like, back up. I said back up. And I go, there's a car behind me. I can't. The light's gonna change. And he goes, I said back up right now. Back up this car or pull over. Pull over. And there's really only two things you can do at that point. I can pull over and get out and punch him in the face and fight him because it's just like, because believe me, I am the last guy in the world you want to pull over and have an argument with. I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, because again, this is a few months ago, so I was still kind of fat, and I'm mad, and I'm sad, and I'm angry about my marriage and all sorts of bullshit. But I'm just like, dude, this is a long time ago. This is like 8 months ago, maybe, or 10 months ago. I was still freaked out about Karen and stuff. And so he wants me to pull over, and I'm like, dude, I literally in my head, I'm like, I'm the last guy you want fucking pulling over because I will destroy you in front of all. I mean, literally, I will hurt you badly because I was that guy at that time. Not that I'm not now. Let's be honest. I'm kind of that guy still, but I've swallowed him. I've buried him underneath piles of yogurt. You can't find him anymore. But he comes walking over, and then he leans in my window, like in my passenger side window. And he leans over and he goes, hey, if I tell you to back up, you back up because you're in the car. And he starts to, so again, like I said, there's only two things you can do. One, I can hit him. Actually, there's three things I can do. Two, I can grab him by his tie and drive.
Glad you came up with that one on the fly.
Well, that's right out of fucking Dirty Harry. I mean, he just fucking grabs a dude by the tie and then just starts driving. The guy's got to run alongside the fucking car. I didn't think about it. Or you can do what I wound up doing. All right, I chose option 3. Rather than pull over and assault this guy or grab him by the shirt and just start driving, the light was red and it was going to turn any second. So he leaned into my car and he's like, back up. If I say back up, you back up. Or you know what? Pull over. Better yet, pull over. Let's have this conversation if you pull over. And all I did was I just laughed in his face. I was just like, you're fucking serious. Like I literally said that to him. And he's looking, and I think that threw him off a little bit. Because I guess he expected that I was going to follow his authority because he had some fucking tin horn badge. But look, I've watched enough Dragnet to know, pal, you're not an authority and you can't fucking make me pull over. You don't have a gray suit. You don't walk with your arms stoically at your sides. You're not Jack Webb. I'm not pulling over for you, damn it. So I went, oh, you're fucking serious. And he looked at me like kind of silently, and then the light turned green, and then I just drove. With him leaning in my window, I didn't fucking care, and I just drove. And I not fast, I didn't floor it, but I kind of like inched up forward, and he's like leaning. I go, I'm green light, and people started to honk, and he backed up, and he like looked mean at me, and I drove off, and I turned onto the freeway, and I came here. So I laughed about it. I made a note to talk about it on the show, and that's why I'm saying I must have talked about it.
I don't think you did, because I would remember Security Guard Jones.
I probably, you know what? I probably spun off into something dumb. You know what I mean? Like because like last week when I was like, I'm in pain, folks, and then I never told anybody why I was in pain. I have to think, well, nobody cares. It was literally a week ago I was in pain, and like everybody's forgotten about it now. Nobody cares. And believe me, I have enough unfinished threads that nobody out there is going, I wonder why Mike was in pain last week.
Are you in pain now?
I am.
You're going to share it?
Peach of anguish.
Oh.
So, you walked really like a pie in the face. You walked into that.
Let me get my chopstick room.
Let's do it. I just invented that. That can happen. That can work. That's fucking awesome.
You invented that, but
the chopstick one?
Yeah, I'm sure there are other sick people who have thought of that long before you.
No. And what do you mean sick? I'm practical. I'm saving money on an antique torture device by making your own with free shit you can get around the house.
Let's start with one word in that sentence. Torture.
Yeah, well, you don't have to use it for that. You could just... You could just build it and put it on your mantelpiece and go. And everybody's like, "What is that?" You go, "Oh, dude, I would show you what that is used for, but let's not talk about it right now."
Theoretical torture device.
All right. Yeah. See, I can live with that. I invented a theoretical torture device.
Back to the security guard.
Look, if that's the case, you better run in the first guy who built together a popsicle bomb. Seriously, that guy who put all the popsicle sticks together, then you just whipped it like a ninja star and it exploded when it hit somebody. That's fucking awesome. You ever do that? Dude, you get 6 popsicle sticks. And first of all, the best part is eating the 6 popsicles. That is the best part of this. Yeah, popsicles are awesome, right? I love them. When I was losing weight the first time, I stocked my freezer with fucking popsicles. And then I got tired of eating popsicles, and then my freezer was full of fucking popsicles for like months. And they got freezer burn on them and stuff, and yeah, that's not good. And especially because all I wanted was the sticks to throw the fucking popsicle stick bomb. Because what you do is you get like, I think it's like 7, and you put one, you make a cross, then you make an inverted couple of triangles, then you put a thing across that holds them all together, and you got a fucking like a ninja star made out of popsicle sticks. And then the best part though is you throw it, it doesn't really hurt. I mean, if you hit somebody in the eye, it's going to hurt. But if you just throw somebody and you whip it and it hits them, it explodes into just a shower of fucking popsicle sticks. It's gorgeous. So you know what you do? Here's what you do. You fool people. You're like, oh, dude, I totally made this fake torture device. And you show them the popsicle stick thing. And they're like, oh, use it on me. It's hilarious. And then you switch it, bait and switch, and you bring together the fucking peach of anguish made out of chopsticks. Boom. And the next thing you know, they're stretched open and wondering what the fuck happened.
I'm concerned for your arch enemy now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you would mention that. Because I've seen him since. And the funny thing is, he remembers me as deeply as I remember him. Like I'll bet if you went to iTunes and put in Jagoff Crossing Guard, if he has a podcast, he's telling stories about me. He's clearly telling these same stories from his side. And you know what? That would actually be an interesting show. If I could find these people that I almost fight in parking garages, or the old man I almost hit at Trader Joe's, and I could get them on the show and go, hey, what were you thinking when this raging animal came flying out of his car at you? You know what I mean? It's just, I want to hear what they have to say about it. I want to hear their side of it, because obviously I must look terrible to them, even though I'm not terrible. Certainly I'm a nice man. I'm a good person. We all know that, right? On the inside? I mean, who among you doesn't really believe that, honestly? You know I'm good. You know I'm good at my core. You don't believe me? I tell you what, jam a peach of anguish inside me and open it up wide and check inside. You'll see nothing but good. There's nothing but good deep inside me. Sure, there's layers. I'm like a Tootsie Pop. I'm covered with like a mean, evil shell, but you got to get an owl to lick me to find out all the good stuff's inside. You got to name your pub the Licking Owl, right? That would be a good name for a pub.
I thought it was going to be the Lick Truck Nuts.
Lick Truck Nuts? Oh, that's not a good name for a pub.
No, it's the Licking Owl?
The Licking Owl is a good name for a pub. I said name a pub. Don't name the show that. I said not. What are you doing? I'm not giving you show names. That's your job. Come on, the Licking Owl? That's a good name for a pub. You know what time they close? 1, a 2, a 3, a 3. That's what time they close. That's what time the Licking Owl pub closes, folks. And somewhere a hobo stirs under a compy of variety. So this guy knows who I am, clearly. Because I've driven past the school and I've seen him there. And he's constantly like hiding behind like a pillar or hiding in the bushes, and he's just mean mugging me. And the thing is, I will tell you this, he has not approached the car again smartly. He has not gone up and said anything to me, but he just gives me the steely stare. And it's a road that unfortunately I have to take all the time because it's literally right by the freeway entrance. And I'm not going to let this guy fucking scare me out of getting on the goddamn freeway because he was nobody. He was nothing. You and the one bullet in your fucking pocket can take your story fucking walking. You're a glorified crossing guard. That's what you are, for fuck's sake. You're Albert Brooks at the end of Lost in America. Seriously. And your own personal Julie Haggerty is off getting bossed around by David Spade at the Wiener Schnitzel by my house. You get time to lean, you get time to clean, buddy. There's a Wiener Schnitzel by my house. It's like right there. One day I was talking to Jill. This is when eating was for the week. And we were talking, and she's like, you got to eat something. Because she's totally against eating for the week. She's just like, you know, you can do your lifting but stay in shape, but please, you got to eat something. Because she's very nice, and she cares about me. So I pulled into Wiener Schnitzel, and I took a picture of the sign, and it said 5 chili dogs for $5. I said, all right, I'm going to get 5 chili dogs for $5. And she's like, really? Oh, my God, I'm so happy. I'm like, no, I'm not getting 5 chili dogs for $5. What am I, a monster? Jesus Christ, what kind of animal do you think I am? She goes, well, I just want you to eat something. Get one chili dog. I go, I'm not getting a chili dog. I'm going to go home and have yogurt and a banana. She's like, oh, don't do that. But it was so great. Her reaction was so perfect because I literally sent the photo. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get 5 chili dogs for $5. Really? Oh, I'm so happy. Don't be happy. Why? Because I'm going to die of a heart attack in a parking lot? Don't root for that yet. That's going to be 5 years into our relationship. You're going to be rooting for me to die in a fucking parking lot somewhere. Right now, let's make it all work. Believe me, there's plenty of time for you to root for my untimely death from a heart attack in a parking lot. But right now, let's pass on that. So this dude knows me, and I know he knows me because he looks at me, he'll peer at me. I don't know if he just committed every Morano to memory or everybody who ever slighted him. I'm sure it's everybody who's ever slighted him, which I'll be honest with you, I'm familiar with that tactic. I'm familiar with keeping in mind everybody who's ever slighted you because I certainly have a list, and I'm checking it twice, and I'm going to find out who's naughty and who needs to get punched in the fucking throat. So he's there, and he's looking at me whenever I pull up. And it's gotten to the point now where I'll just kind of like eye contact with him, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, because I don't want to antagonize again. I'm a good person. You know that. All the way to my inside, my chewy center. This show's all hard candy. That was in last year's intro, right? There's no chewy center to this show. This show is all hard candy. I'm fucking funny. Like literally, you know what's funny? I've been doing this for 7 years, and I forget. Like I was talking to Mex about it the other day, and I was like, dude, I should. Like, I have a back catalog. Like, isn't that weird? I have a back catalog. Like, I really shouldn't say it like that. It's just, I just told a bunch of dumb stories for a long time. But really, I put out a comedy album every week. Isn't that fucking strange? Like, if you really look at it in that kind of context, and look, it's not a linear comedy album. I mean, if you put this on a turntable and you put a needle on it, the needle would just stab right through it and pin it to the fucking turntable because it wouldn't know what to play. There's no grooves. There's no track. It's just one long diatribe, and I get that. Lily, tell me, is my show one long diatribe? Lily, will they unsubscribe? I can sing that song with Mother. Like, it came on in my car the other day. Mother did, and I sang the words to Lily with it. Lily, why wouldn't Max let me sing that line? All right, so new people are like, what are you talking about? But fuck that. Old people are like, what are you talking about?
Get interludes.
Yeah, pick up the interludes. We have plenty of them. I'm sure they're available. We don't sell them individually. Someone was going to put them in individual tracks and then make an album out of them, but then they stopped.
Do the interludes come with the year?
Yeah. Yeah, the interludes come with, if you buy year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, or year 6, you get the interlude. It comes with it. How can we not do that? You know what? I should put out a pack of interludes.
You should.
You know what? 5 interludes for $5. That's how I do it. Oh, really? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm so happy. No, you're not. I can't sell 5 interludes for $5. Dude, no, not for $5. The Pink Floyd one alone is worth fucking $1 million. That seems high.
I don't think you're going to sell a lot at $1 million.
Well, I got to come down. Well, it's somewhere between 5 and $1 million. I'm not going to lie to you. It's somewhere between. I need a price point somewhere between $5 and $1 million. I'm going to
go with $5.
Really? Yeah. I'm going to go higher than that. I'm going to go $1 million. Meet me somewhere. Yeah, but we were actually going to sell last year's interlude because it was an all original album, and then someone decided they didn't want to make it. All right, so.
Who is that someone?
Someone who's sitting across from me.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I don't know. There was all sorts of stuff that happened. So, anyway.
I think we went with the backup plan.
I don't know what the backup plan could have been. You hating everyone in the universe? So, hi. So this dude fucking, I mean, he just totally, he's not a fan. Let's put it that way. He is clearly not a fan. So when I just show up and I try to ignore him because I'm not going to get into a fight with the dude. I don't want to. I'm new. I'm better. I'm shiny. I'm different. I'm covered in lemon pledge. Lick my neck. It tastes like beans. I'm awesome. All right. So I got nothing to do with the guy. But this week, of course, I was on my way here and, I pulled up. And it's busy again because I'm coming over right at like 2 p.m, so people are leaving school, and there's inappropriately clad girls. There's girls in their summer clothes, as Bruce Springsteen would say. Although he'd say girls in their summer clothes because he sings through his nose now all the fucking time. And I get why, because Mex has explained to me you got to change keys and you change the way you approach things as you get older because you can't hit the notes the right way. But Jesus Christ, Bruce, through your nose, it just sounds. It's like got that twang. He sounds, every time I hear a new Bruce Springsteen song, I think it's Jackal's The Chainsaw Song, which is an awful song. You remember that song? They actually used a chainsaw and they like revved it. It was like all they did was they stole a blues song and then they revved a chainsaw. And you know what? The only time Jackal should ever get away with using a chainsaw is if you promise me that you will kill the band with it afterwards. That should be it. Because I am not a fan of Jackal, nor am I a fan of Great White. You know who I am a fan of, though? Oh, my God. Look what the cat dragged in. I'm a fan of Tiny CC. Pick up that tiny guitar and talk to me. Pick up that really tiny guitar. Tiny CC! Pick up that tiny guitar and talk to me. I hate every bone in your body but mine. That's a song by Samantha Seven that I alluded to earlier. You should find it because the rest of the album is kind of awful, but that song is like really great. It's really catchy. And he sings. They auto-tune CeCe's voice, and I've never heard anyone so auto-tuned. Roger from Zap heard it and went, "Yeah, I think you need to turn that down a little bit." It sounds like somebody hit a robot in the stomach with a baseball bat. That's how bad it is. It's just this weird because he's singing through you know what? It sounds like he's singing through a megaphone planted firmly in Gretchen Mall's vagina. That's what it sounds like. And by the way, when they put that megaphone in Gretchen Mall's vagina, you know they went wide end first.
Wow.
Look, that's how Garvey and Gob do business.
Oh my god.
How terrible it would be if we had time machine technology and the Weinsteins owned it. Oh my Christ. They would just go back and have somebody rewrite The Help 100 times. Did you see The Help? I didn't see it.
I did.
That's like, hey, black people, white people are great, right? Isn't that movie? It's like The Legend of Bagger Vance, but in a kitchen. Right? I didn't see it. That's just my guess.
Oh my god.
Something like that. I don't know. It's literally, it's like, I'm sure things are all right here, mama. Or massa, mama. Magma. Yes, it was. It was The Help was in a kitchen of a volcano. Magma. So this guy does not enjoy me at all, and I can tell. So on the way here, I pull up, and I do this thing because the school is on my right. All right, the freeway entrance is on my right, but the school is before it on my right. So I always look over for him. It's become this thing because I don't know if he's ever going to sneak up on me or jump me. I don't know what the fuck. Again, it's been almost like 11 months since this happened. But he still gives me the eye. So I always look over because I will tell you that as good a guy as I am at my core, I still look at him every time I pull up. I mean, you know what I mean? I could ignore him. I could just turn my radio on or put my earbuds in or listen to whatever the fuck. But I still will meet his gaze because he's my chicken. He's my Peter Griffin chicken. So, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for him to come and try to tear me out of the car. And then we wind up fighting all over the place. And then a jet goes down and a building collapses and all sorts of crazy shit happens. Because eventually he's going to get sick of it because I pull up and I'll look right at him. I don't even smile or laugh or anything. I look at him and he looks at me. And then the light changes and I drive away. And I will tell you that he'll turn around because he has another like little partner there, like a guy with a push broom or something. And he'll like say something to him. And I know he's just like, oh, that motherfucker came here a year ago and he pulled into the crosswalk. And I'm sure that janitor's just like, you are a crazy person. Let it go because you are toxically killing yourself by keeping this poison inside. And he said, hey, it's nothing but a good time to keep this poison inside.
Did you just straighten
I
your
may have just
tie?
straightened my tie.
You just straightened your tie.
Am I wearing a tie? I'm not. I reached for it.
You reached for your
I did.
tie.
So this week, I pull up, and I glance to the right. I wasn't really looking for him, but I was playing Elvis on my radio, and there's a song called Come On Everybody, and he says, everybody turn your head to the right. And so I had to. I was commanded by Elvis. Come on, everybody, and turn your head to the right. I just did it there.
You did.
And that's what I was doing in the car. Because Elvis commanded it, I needed to look to the right. I don't care about that guy. I certainly wasn't looking for him. I was doing it because Elvis said so. Not the first or the last thing I've ever done in my life because Elvis said so. I can't help putting the peach of anguish in you.
Wow.
It's not a bad Elvis. That's if Elvis ran a torture chamber. All right, so.
Holy Christ.
Which is not far off because in Graceland, if you go into the jungle room, there's an Iron Maiden. So anyway, folks, listen, here's the thing. And by the way, if Elvis was at this crosswalk, he would have scooped up some of these girls and had them wrestle in his car, probably. So I'm there. I pull up to the crosswalk and I glance to the right. Everybody turn your head to the right. And I did, and he's not there. Now, I should probably tell you something else. Although maybe I shouldn't. I should tell you it because it's going to explain things, but I shouldn't tell you it because it's probably going to explain things. And it's not going to make me look great. And I think we know the show is all about making me look great. held back a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna fucking tell you. I didn't exactly pull up and glance to the right. I was driving in my car, and I was looking at my phone, and I was texting, and I was fucking with the radio, and I don't think I looked up for 4 minutes. I don't think that I glanced out of the windshield for 4 minutes. Like, I was driving, and I was hustling, because I was trying to get here, because I don't like to be late for our friend Lily. And I'm driving, and I also had to go pick something up at my work, and so I wasn't paying attention. It was that thing where you've got the music going, and I've got the phone in my hand, and I'm looking at that, and I'm trying to figure things out. And so I may have been going about 75 miles an hour in a 30. I think. I don't know. It's close. It's very, very close. Because I got Elvis cranking, and he's telling me, everybody snap your fingers right now. And I will tell you this also. I started to snap my fingers. I took my hands off the wheel, and I snapped all of my fingers. And I'm looking at my phone, and I'm listening to Elvis, and he's commanding me to do things. And, of course, I'm doing them because it's Elvis. And so there is a good chance, I probably should have told you this in the beginning of the story, there is a good chance I was doing about 80 miles an hour in a 30. I mean, I was flying, and I wasn't paying attention. And, yes, there you know, all my cards are on the table. Fine, get off my back. I've admitted it. So not only that, but I may have misjudged exactly where the stoplight was, and where the freeway entrance was, where the school was, and where I was, and where the steering wheel was. I was looking at my phone. All right, I was looking at my goddamn phone and speeding a little, a lot. And I was driving, and all of a sudden I glanced up, and I realized, hey, there's a crosswalk and a red light. And so I fucking had to jam my foot on the brake like really hard. Like I just fucking and my car went It went which is my car does not usually do that. My car is usually noiseless. I have the Bose noise canceling car. And I've got my phone in one hand, and I'm listening to Elvis as he's cranking it out, and I look up and I hit the fucking brake, and it's like and I didn't fishtail, and there was no smoke, but it was certainly a skid that I should not have been involved in. Certainly not in a school zone. And so the reason I looked to the right was not to really catch the glance of this guy, but mainly because I wanted to see if he had noticed that I had almost murdered anyone in my path. And how he was going to feel about that. Because, again, he remembers me, and in his mind, I'm a crazy psychopathic driver. And in my mind, I'm just like, hey, dude, I accidentally went in the crosswalk once. Well, guess what? I almost gutterballed a fucking school full of kids. Like, if they would have been anybody in front of me, it would have been bad. And I've had that happen a few times. Like that thing where you stop the car and you're sweating, and you weren't sweating 5 seconds ago. Dude, I was on the freeway once, and I was in Lenny's car. This is like Lenny had a fucking Grand Prix, and it was just this silver fucking Grand Prix, and it was shaped like a bullet. It looked like Starsky and Hutch's Gran Torino, that fucking forward, it looked like an Arrowhead, that kind of car, but it was silver with a red top, and it was fucking fast. It could haul balls, and so apparently it was so fast it brought back haul balls from the 80s for me to say on my podcast. So it would just fucking move. So I was on the 22 down in Orange County one day, and I'm driving, and it's that same thing where I'm fucking with I'm trying to put a cassette into the cassette player, and then I'm ejecting it, and I'm trying to fast forward, and I keep looking down, and I'm on the freeway, so I'm looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, and then I look up, and all of a sudden it's just taillights and a wall of cars. Like out of nowhere, everybody was moving, everything was fine, and then everybody has stopped, everyone, and they've all stopped very nicely and without any noise, and I had to stand on the fucking brakes, both goddamn feet. And you know what's weird? Your instinct is to never do that. Your instinct is to just put one foot on the brakes. That's how badly my body reacted. I went both feet on the brakes and and I fishtailed with smoke and like all over the fucking place, and I wound up almost sideways. I didn't hit anybody. But it's that thing where all of a sudden you stop and you look over, and there's John Candy dressed as the devil, and your heart is up on the dashboard, and you have to swallow that back into your chest, and everybody's looking at you like, what a fucking asshole. And in your head, all you can go, yeah, I am a fucking asshole, because I almost died and took 1 million people with me, because I was a fireball waiting to happen. Well, the good news is I've learned my lesson over the last 25 years. And did the exact same fucking thing in a school zone. Idiot. So I hit the brake, and so I look over to see if he's going to say anything or look. And honestly, I'm willing to give him a my bad at this point. I've now lost a 1-year-long feud with this guy because it is evident that I am a bad driver. And I'm pissed about it. I'm not happy I lost, but I'm willing to swallow my pride. I have to admit, you know what, dude? That was fucking dumb. That was fucking dumb. But I look over, and he's not there. So his moment of glory, his moment of triumph that he's been waiting for 11 months to lord over me is gone. So I look out the window and I see that he's not there. And in my head, I just kind of go, fuck him. He didn't even get to see it. He didn't even get to see it. I acted like a dope. Me and Elvis almost fucking killed 9 people, and he didn't even get to see it. And so I turned my head to the left. And again, not because I needed to, but because the king of rock and roll said, everybody turn your head to the left. And I looked out the windshield. And like I said, I'm sort of in the crosswalk, and I'm just kind of there sweating. And I look over, and he's not there. And so I turn my head. I'm like, whew, that was close. And I look out my windshield, and standing directly in front of my car is this guy in his brown fucking suit and his badge and this look on his face like he wanted to. It was the look of ultimate victory, but it was also a look of tremendous defeat. Because he knew he couldn't do anything to me at all. It was like literally the definition of impotent rage. He's furious, but he knows there's nothing he can do to me. And so I look at him, and he looks at me, and the reason he was not on the right is he was all the way to the left on crossing guard duty and helping kids cross the street. So, like I said, if he would have been 15 steps closer, I would have murdered everyone in my path. But luckily, he had not gotten them to the middle of the crosswalk yet, or the end, near the end. But the kids continued to walk. And I will tell you this, there's also the kids are giving me the dirty looks. Like they're, because they, honestly, because they know that they almost died. Like they didn't really, but their hair is all messed up from the wind tunnel that I brought behind me as I hit the fucking brakes. But as they keep walking, he won't move. He's just standing in front of my car. And so I did the only thing I could do. The kids are walking, they're looking at me, and I'm sheepish, and I'm sweating, and Elvis is singing. And this dude is looking at me, and I'm just looking at him, and he's frozen. He's almost like he's in orthodox stance, too. That's the weird thing. He's like in boxing when you lead with your left. He's literally, his side is to me. He's not facing my car. He's standing astride like this, almost like he doesn't have his fists up, but he's kind of like, I half expected him to put the hand up Bruce Lee style and just wave it and bring me forward. But he stood there and he's staring at me, and I'm staring at him, and he's staring at me, and I give him this. I just look at him and I just go, I put my hand in the air in the universal sign for my bad. Sorry about that. And I, of course, take it a step further. I actually roll my window down, which is dangerous with the Bose noise canceling car, because then you have to hear all the outside noise. But I roll my window down and I go, sorry about that. My fault. Which I figure is the culmination of our feud. I've lost. He's won. He can take it to heart and be a good, be a good sport. Be a good winner. Smile, tip your imaginary cap to me, and go walk off. And realize that after a year, you are the better man, you are the bigger man, and you've won. He's not the better man or the bigger man, despite his victory, because he stands in front of my car. And I roll the window up, and there's nobody behind me this time to honk. So the light turns green, and the people next to me drive, and he won't move from the front of my car. And I'm staring at him, and he's staring at me. And he's just looking in the car with like a straight face. And so I roll my window down again, and I go, green light, my fault. Sorry about that. And then I roll up the window again. So now it's just me and Elvis. And he continues to stare all the way through a light cycle. Like I was going to go around him, but I didn't. I couldn't. He was really close to my grill. So like I would have had to back up and then go around him. But people are passing us. People are getting on the freeway, and he won't let me go. And I don't know if he called the cops. I'm sitting there like I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going to happen. So the only thing I can do at that point, again, there's 3 things I can do. I can back up and just try to get around him and hope he doesn't jump in front of the car. I can put the car in park and get out and just beat the shit out of him in the crosswalk. Or I can do what I did. He's standing in front of me and he's staring at me. And I rolled the window down again. And I went, you're fucking serious. 11 months later, I did the exact same thing to him. And I rolled the window back up, and he didn't move. He didn't flinch. It didn't get him at all. He didn't understand the irony of me saying it to him again 11 months later. I don't even think he remembered it, although I'm sure it haunted his dreams. He must have remembered that phrase. Because I just laughed, you're fucking serious. And he didn't move. About 5 more seconds went by. So here's what I did, folks. I just laughed in my car. I kept laughing, and I put my car in park. And I also put the emergency brake on with my left foot. Because he's just standing there staring at me. Now, I should tell you this. He doesn't know I'm doing any of this. All right? So, I lay on the horn. I mean, I just fucking lay on it because the light changes again and he won't move and I'm laying on the horn. He's staring at me. He won't move. And now I'm like in this weird Mexican standoff. Like, I'm actually kind of having fun with it at one point, but now I'm getting pissed because I got to get here and I didn't want to be fucking late. So the car's in park and I got the emergency brake on and I laid on the horn for like an entire fucking 10 seconds. And then I let it go and he's still standing there looking at me. So I just looked out the window and I laughed and I just went, move. And he wouldn't blink. He wouldn't flinch. He's just this fucking outlaw Josie Wales of crossing guards. And I'm like, move. And he wouldn't move. So here's what I did, folks. I just nodded and I went, all right. And I made a huge show of it. I picked my right foot up as like almost like as high as it would go, and I stomped on the gas like fucking hard, my whole engine just went. Brrr! And he jumped, jumped. And I mean, this is at least 90 seconds, 2 minutes. We're there. He wouldn't get out of my fucking way. And I was going to do it in park, and then I put the emergency brake on because I'm like, well, just in fucking case. But also I wanted to say to him, dude, 11 months ago, you think I'm crazy. If you think I'm crazy, why are you in front of my car? Because I'll tell you what, if I'm crazy, I am a sneeze away from murdering you. I stomped on the gas. It jumped. It didn't. There was no rev. I didn't like. I made a huge show of it. I kind of climbed out of my chair and fucking put my knee up and just boom, and I stomped on the gas and he jumped and I stared out the window and I just I just started laughing. And I took my foot off the gas and then he fucking recoiled and then he kind of walked off and he went to the sidewalk and he's looking at me and he starts swearing, "Fuck you!" And he's yelling at me and I think I won, folks. I got to think I won. Because he had to walk out of the crosswalk and yell, fuck you to me in front of all of the kids that were out in front of the school. Because they were watching him to see what his play was. His play was to jump up and fall on his ass and get up and go, fuck you, and run away like a girl. Like a girl! Yes, all crossing guard women. And I took off the emergency brake and I put my car in drive and I got on the freeway. And I will never take that route here again.
Yes, you will.
I don't know. I think I won. I can't top that, right? I can't. And besides, he's probably put in his resignation because a fucking group of kids watched him shit his pants in the middle of the fucking road. But dude, why are you having a standoff with me? I'm in a goddamn car and you think I'm nuts anyway. Jeez, all right, well, I'm going to prove it. I'll fucking prove it. And let me say this. Again, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying not to be angry. I'm not trying to be a guy who gets mad. So I don't think today qualifies. I really don't think today qualifies. I was provoked, folks. I quote the great Paul Gleason. Don't mess with the bull, son. You'll get the horns. And if the horn isn't effective, you'll get the fucking engine revved in your face. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. This time for real. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. Our friend David Hernandez does all of the artwork for this show. He also does all of the music for the show. He's a Renaissance man. He's truly talented, and he can do things quickly. He can do things meticulously. He can do anything that you want him to do. So if you'd like to hire him, you can get him at artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com. You will get him on board with whatever project you might have. He can go ahead and quote you a price. You can tell him yes, he will do it, and it's perfect, and you'll pay him double because what he did was better than anything you thought you would ever see in your life. So go to artbydmh.com. And you can also be his friend at facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. He's there having tea with everyone. Friends. He's friends. He's friends with all of us. My friend Lily Von Stupp is the producer of this show. She is right across the street. The street from me? That seems odd. She's across the kitchen from me, as always, in the stripper's kitchen. You can find her at several different Twitter accounts, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. You can be her friend at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and grant her permission to use her very own idea, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Team every Monday night at the Three Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica, 10 o'clock p.m. is the showtime. Actually, no, it's not. That's the showtime for that show. Get there at hot o'clock, and I guarantee you'll
Don't tell me that you haven't bought the big angry.
That show is produced by my good friend business.
Look at that kick-ass art for sale. Tweaked audio just cannot fail. Buy it at your business.
So
Hey,
poof!
man, it comes alive here like
How was last week's show? I didn't have to see that show. How was last week's show? Was anybody a standout? Did anybody really leave it, or was it the entire dominated?
You know, Don't Blink Burlesque is an amazing troupe. So
I wanted to see them.
wonderful.
That's why, because I like out of town burlesque because it's different. You know what I mean? I want to see those people and stuff, and I wish I would have been able to make the show, but I unfortunately could not.
I'll be back.
Don't blink.
You can go see me in Tucson when I host the festival and see them there.
Oh, perhaps I'll fly out. That'd be fantastic because I know that's going to work out great if I fly to Tucson to watch a burlesque show because that's not expensive or weird for me to do.
We're gonna drive. We're renting a van.
Are you in the van with Don't Blink Burlesque?
We're gonna do a carpool to the festival. We think it'll be really fun.
With whom?
There's a bunch of people going from LA.
Is it just a bunch of strippers in a van?
Yeah.
I might have to do that. That sounds like a plan.
Do you want to be our professional driver, security guard?
Dude, can I be the Reuben Kincaid of all the strippers who go to fucking Tucson?
Could we paint the side of a rental van?
Hello, world. There's a song that we're singing.
Oh my god.
Come on, get happy. And then you guys just flash guys when we're driving.
Totally, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm serious. I'll Reuben Kincaid the shit out of that van.
Let's do it, because then I don't have to drive and I can relax.
Yeah, I'll drive.
Awesome.
All right, I'm in. That sounds perfect.
November.
I look forward to this falling apart. All right, so November, out of town. Sorry about that. I would have done it. I truly would have done it. But November, I'm actually out of town the entire month. But, still, think of me next time that you get a van full of strippers who want to travel cross country.
We're all going to Las Vegas if you want to get in the van for that.
I'm in. I'll drive that. That van's perfect. Yeah, I will. I'm sorry, when? November. I'm out of town. God damn it. We should be more specific about these dates. But it turns out I'm out of town in November. So, but thank you for thinking of me, but I would love to do it. Think of me the next time you get a van full of strippers. I'm in. Absolutely.
We're also going to go to another festival.
When is this?
November.
Damn it. Again, if only you would concentrate on the fact that I'm saying I'm out of town in November. I would love to do it again. A van full of strippers and me.
Damn it.
I look forward to just like pulling over and just getting you a bunch of big gulps.
We're going to Las Vegas in August.
August?
Yeah.
August 2014?
Yeah.
Out of town. I am glad you thought of me again.
The worst Reuben Kincaid ever.
Well, no, I can plot this. I'll write a map out for you and stuff like that. I don't know if I can make the trip. Well, did Reuben go on the gigs with the Partridge Family? I don't think he ever did, really.
Sometimes.
Share a room with Danny?
No.
It would explain a lot. A lot of tension between those two. A lot of tension. By the way, we just spent 9 minutes on the Partridge Family. Hi, everybody. And somewhere a hobo stirs and pulls up a copy of the Hollywood Reporter over his face.
Better than pulling Danny Bonaducci over his face.
Let's talk to Ruben Kincaid about that.
There were years that hobo was Danny
Yeah,
Petrucci.
probably. He may be that hobo on that park bench.
Holy Christ.
Wheezing, just wheezing. Oh, this is awesome. I didn't tell you this. All right. I was at my house, and I was flipping channels, and then I just I'll do this thing where I'm looking for shows to tape, okay? And I have no idea how this came up. Oh, I actually, bullshit. I know exactly how I did it. Because what I will do is I was looking for Law & Order Criminal Intent. Because, I wanted to tweet this and put it on Facebook, and I'm going ahead and mention it now. At what point does everyone in the world decide they have to give Vince D'Onofrio $20? Like, at what point does everyone realize that he is the greatest thing in the world, and we all need to give Vincent D'Onofrio $20? Just because. Just because of the joy he has brought to us with his portrayal of Inspector Gorin. And I mean, dude, he's been great in everything. He's fucking fantastic. Vincent D'Onofrio, I can't even imagine the depth of great. I'm not even worthy to talk about him. Forget it. Take this out. Go back. Cut it out. When I heard, and again, I will tell you this too. I'm dated. I've just talked about the Partridge Family. I've talked about a bunch of bullshit. Here's who I am as a guy. I don't have Netflix. I don't. I should. I should have Netflix because that's the future and everybody has it and the streaming, and I get all that. That's fine. But I don't have it because to me, it's like $10 a month for nothing. Satellite radio I use, but I would never sit and watch shows. I watch Dragnet. I'm a fucking nobody, man. I watch sports and I watch food shows and I watch Dragnet and I'm done. So Netflix is wasted on me. I haven't watched a movie, like sat down and actually watched a movie. And I will tell you this, one of the great things about Jill is like she's never seen anything. So I'm so looking forward to like showing her Pulp Fiction and showing her Almost Famous and then reeling in horror as she hates them both. But still... And I know that's true. I know that's going to happen. And I'm going to have to deal with it. But I mean, because she will watch them because she's such a yes. Like, I mean, I will ask her and she will absolutely sit through them. And I hope that she likes them, but I don't know if she will. I have no clue. I don't know. But I'm excited to share those things with her because they're things that, I love. What was I talking about before we get into that? Pulp and then movies. Oh, Netflix. I don't have Netflix, man, because I don't sit and watch a movie. I won't ever dial something up on Netflix because I constantly, whenever I'm sitting still, if I'm not watching Dragnet or turning my brain off with fucking food shows, I'm like, dude, you need to be working. You need to be doing something. You need to be online. So I'll be usually online. And then I'm not working. Certainly I'm not working online. I'm at ESPN.com or whatever the fuck reading about LeBron and his choices, which is stupid. I don't know why. It's just garbage in and garbage out, but that's okay. I fucking do it because that's what I do. I don't fucking pay attention and do the things I'm supposed to goddamn do still. I'm in therapy. Shannon! All right. So I need Netflix. Here's why. Because I've never in the past I've been like, I've thought about it. I'm like, maybe I should get Netflix. But then I'm like, who cares? You never watch anything. But Netflix does a bunch of original shows now. Like your Orange is the New Black. And I don't know if they do the show with Spacey. Do they do Spacey's show? House of Lies, which I heard is also really good. And I'd rather see House of Lies than Orange is the New Black, quite frankly, because Kevin Spacey is a fucking genius. But now, and I've got superhero fatigue. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I haven't seen, I didn't go see Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I should have. I haven't seen X-Men yet. I just got kind of overwhelmed. And also it's just, $15 a crack and trying to keep, it's terrible. All right. I know I'm working 55 hours a week. I should be going to a goddamn movie. Again, last week I told you I'm getting small. I need to get back to broadening my horizons, which I'm going to, I promise. Why am I promising you? You don't care if I do or I don't. Everybody out there's like, please, Mike, please broaden your horizons. Nobody cares. They have kids and lives. Jesus fucking Christ. Nobody cares. All right. I get it. Well, actually you care and everybody cares. All right. So, but once I heard that Netflix was going to make a Daredevil show, because Daredevil, I mean, I loved the comic books, and I loved the ones where Daredevil, he was actually exposed, and then he wound up living in Hell's Kitchen, and that was fucking amazing, that series. I think that's Frank Miller's Daredevil, and so I heard they're going to do a Daredevil show, and it kind of caught my interest, and I'm like, and then they cast Daredevil with a guy that I don't know who the fuck it is, and I'm sure I've delivered him barbecue. I mean, literally, because that's my life. I deliver barbecue to famous dudes, and I have no idea who they are anymore because I'm out of touch, because again, I sleep with a fucking 1970s TV guide on my face on a bench. So I saw that they cast Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin in Daredevil. And I literally will buy Netflix just for that. I will. I'm not kidding. I would get Netflix. It's worth $10 a month to me, or whatever the fuck it is, because literally a movie is $15. It would be worth $10 a month to me to see Vincent D'Onofrio be the Kingpin. To see Vincent D'Onofrio do anything, I mean, he's fucking incredible. He's amazing. He's so good. I tape these old Law and Orders with, Criminal Intent, and look, I'll tell you what, I also like the ones because Chris Noth is great, and Goldblum wound up being good on it later. But it doesn't matter because Goran, that character, it is legendary in television, in my opinion, because just his choices, every choice he makes, the way he kind of fences with the other actors, and he zigs and he zags, and he's in control of every scene he's in. They're all playing off of him. Whether he looks like he's playing off of them, his choices have made them make those choices. It's fucking brilliant to watch. He's just so great, so great. And so I literally, if Vincent D'Onofrio, if this goes through, I will buy Netflix. I don't know why I'm promising you, or if there's some Netflix representative out there who demands to know that I'm giving him $10, but it's worth it to me. Everything else I've passed on, Spacey, House of Lies, pulling up all sorts of movies at my fingertips. No, fuck you. D'Onofrio is the Kingpin. I'm in. Even if you told me, you know what, dude, you can't see the whole show, but you can see all of Vincent D'Onofrio's scenes as the Kingpin, I would still pay the Netflix fee every month. That's how amazing that fucking guy is. He's so goddamn good. So good. And it's humbling to see people do great things when you yourself are in that industry tenuously. Like I feel like I'm in show business, sort of, or at least I'm entertaining people, or I'm trying to. And then you see somebody who in a 1-hour show does something better than you've ever done in the 25 years you've been doing what you've been doing. And it throws you for a goddamn loop. You respect it and you're in awe of it and you watch it and you can admire it. And it makes you want to be better. And it makes you want to do things better. It makes you want to be better at what you do or what you've chosen to do. You should always be inspired and always make yourself do the things that you do better because you saw somebody elevate their game. And he is constantly elevating his game. So I don't even know what made me fucking bring that up, but he's amazing. He's great. So Don't Blink Burlesque was great.
Yes.
They were fantastic. And then you're going to be there in Tucson when again?
I'm going to be in Tucson the second week of November.
The second week of November.
Second weekend, yeah.
Fantastic. And that'll be fun. You're hosting some shows and performing, and that's going to be really cool with Don't Blink. Awesome. And so the show went well. So how about this week's show or the show coming up?
This week's show is Lily's School for Wayward Girls. It is a graduation show, so I have 7 new performers, and Pepe LaRue is performing as alumni.
Pepe's our friend.
Yes, and
Pepe scared me with a spider video. Sorry.
Olive is performing as an alumni, and then we'll have 1 other alumni as well as the 7 graduates.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So
Fun show.
will you be hosting?
Yeah, I will be introducing.
Will you be handing out diplomas?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes, and wait, where are they?
Uh-oh, you've got them?
Crap, they were just here. What did I do with it?
I don't know. Why don't you make a tiny CC link that tells me where to find them?
Oh, bite me!
I was furious. I apologize. Oh, look at you.
Graduation tassels for all the girls.
Graduation tassels. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
It's got a little grad hat on there and a little nipple ring action. That's awesome.
A keychain. I'm not sure if you know that.
That's a
key ring,
nipple
not a
ring.
ring.
That is a nipple ring. Go ahead and put it right in there. Good. Well, good for people. That's awesome. Get the fucking nipple rings attached. Well, I guess, that can go on a pasty maybe. I don't know. Who cares? I don't know anything about burlesque. Spin it around. There you go. Spin it again. Spin it again. Spin it again.
So it'll be a good show. It'll be a fun show.
That's exciting. I can't wait to, unfortunately, not attend. I wish I could, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. That show's in November? I'm out of town. All right. But it's going to be fantastic, so go check that out. And if you want to find out about upcoming shows, you can go to, well, first of all, if you want to buy tickets for upcoming shows, you can go to brownpapertickets.com and you can search Lily's name, Lily Von Stupp, or you can search Monday Night Tees and get all of the tickets that are coming on sale for the shows in the future. But if you'd like to find out what those shows are, because we plug week to week here, if you go to facebook.com/Monday Night Tees, you can become a member of the Monday Night Tees group, and you will get all of the information about the upcoming shows, and you can see all of the photos from past shows. And that is well worth the price of admission, folks. The photos from past shows dominate. They are great, and it's fun to watch and fun to look at. Fun to watch. I don't know if it's a slideshow or anything, but go ahead and check it out. Go ahead.
Slideshow on the website.
Folks, there's a slideshow on the website. Hold on. There's a slideshow on the website. Is there MondayNightTees.com? Is that what you have?
Yes.
Okay, and then you have burlesque411.com.
Just go to MondayNightTees.com.
Go to MondayNightTees.com for all of that information. And you've also got the Burlesque podcast still lurking.
Yes.
And that's available for people to download from the site itself,
Yes.
which is
BurlesquePodcast.com. I make it hard.
burlesquepodcast.com. tinycc/burlesquepodcast/findmehere/boobs on a microphone /.com.
BurlesquePodcast.com makes sense because you can send somebody right there. There's no : the hubba dot this ? Yeah, fuck that shit.
If you don't paint everything you just said on the side of that van on the way to Tucson, I'll be very disappointed.
Only if you're driving.
Hubba /:::.
Only if
Damn
you're
it.
driving, I'll plus your Hubba Hubba.
I'm in. When are we going? I'm in. When are we going?
That would be in November.
Ah, damn it, I'm out of town. Really wanted to go. Really wanted to make time for that. So that's good.
Make it so crazy.
So go to the MondayNightTees.com site and go to Facebook.com/MondayNightTees and go to BrownPaperTickets.com and get all of that information and follow Lily on Twitter and tell her you want to be her friend and inappropriately touch her when you see her. No, don't do that last one. Sorry, I spoke too soon. If you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, that's a website. It's dedicated to all things me with a capital M. We've got all sorts of cool stuff. We've got the Explosions of Id page, which has got sound bites. We've got, all sorts of blogs that are completely out of date. We've got amazing things there, folks. Just go to see the artwork from young David Hernandez. It's all fantastic. That's with the Boy with the Horns page. You can see some older artwork from the show. But if you go to the Joe Business page, if you come there with a mind to spend some money on some Montessori mustaches, then you want to go there. And you want to go ahead and try to buy some stuff. We've got, first of all, tweakedaudio.com. They support us, tweakedaudio.com. If you go to tweakedaudio.com/40, or click on the link right there on the Joe Business page, you can go ahead and buy autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds. You can buy cock ring watches. You can buy gear. All of that from tweakedaudio.com, and all of it credits our show. Thank you so much for thinking of us. We appreciate it. Yay. There's download sets available. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, Year 5, and Year 6 of this show are available individually or together as part of the Reservoir Schmidt Dog box set. And please remember, the interludes are included in all of your download sets. So if you buy Year 3, I believe you get the Pink Floyd download, the interlude. If you buy Year 4, Year 2, you get the Give Peace a Chance one. Give Schmitty a Chance, I think it is. There's all different ones. So those are all available with the individual years. And we'll think about possibly putting the interludes up individually too as well. I mean, we gave them away for free, but if people want them, we can sell singles. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, but maybe that's a fun bonus thing we'll do. We'll go ahead and throw them up as a package, and get people involved in learning about music. I don't know if I'm a music teacher. I don't know why I'm going to get people involved in learning about music, but apparently that's what I'm planning on doing with the interlude.
Great plan.
It is a good plan. It's not a bad plan. It's a good plan. It's a very good plan. I got a plan, Dirk. In the bedroom, under the bed. Floor safe. He's got coke and he's got cash. No, I'm not kidding. We know what's in the motherfucking floor, and the motherfucking bed, and the motherfucking floor safe. Sir, this was not the plan. That's okay, kid. Come on, you puppies. I'm going to do the whole scene. I should just sing fucking Sister Christian and fade out. How great is that scene? Dude, I saw Boogie Nights at the movies the day it opened, the night it opened. And we saw it in Culver City. At this it was just a big theater. And I don't know what we picked, because there were no arc lights yet. And it came out in, I believe, 97, when I had just moved here, 98 possibly. And so we went to see it, and it's so funny. There's a scene in the movie. You guys look, Boogie Nights, right? You all know it. Everybody except Jill. She would have watched it. I was going to make her watch it, but then I did not. But there's a scene where Floyd Gondoli shows up at a party. And basically everything's about to turn bad. They're trying to get Jack Horner on board from going from film to video, and Floyd Gondoli is Philip Baker Hall, and he goes in and they're having a back and forth conversation. And it's a great scene. And it's funny, if you see that scene, watch in the background, because the guy who plays the Colonel, he's laughing into his hand because of the things that Philip Baker Hall says. Like he almost can't control himself a little bit, because that's when he says, I like simple things like lollipops in my mouth and butter in my ass. When he says that, and that's when the Colonel's just kind of laughing in his hand. But when he walks into the party, Floyd Gondoli, you just hear this music starts, and I remember it happening vividly. I'm in the audience. It's a packed house, full theater, and already the movie's fantastic, and the soundtrack is amazing, and it's so good, and I'm caught up in it. I'm really into it, and I became like a black guy in a joke about black guys at the theater. I just did, because when Floyd Gondoli walks into the party, you just hear a guitar strum go zing, 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 zing. And it's a song called Driver's Seat by Sniffin' the Tears. And I probably hadn't heard the song in 10 years easily. But the second I heard the zing, I knew exactly what it was. And I mean, to myself, I'm in a movie theater watching a movie, and I'm not that guy. I don't talk, I don't whisper, I don't do any of that shit. And I'm sitting by myself, and zing, 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 zing. And he goes walking in, and I just go, yeah. Like out loud. Because it was just, because I'll cheer and I'll laugh and I'll clap. I'll cheer and laugh and clap. I mean, I've done that and gone crazy in movies about stuff, but I've never been like, you're goddamn right in a movie theater. But literally, I went, yeah, you're goddamn right. Like it was just crazy that I would do that. But I said it out loud, not yelled it, but just almost to myself, almost like, yeah. It's so stupid. And then we saw the whole movie. Then when we walked out, it turns out Paul Thomas Anderson was in the theater with us. He had come to watch it there, and he was watching it at like all these different theaters that he loved. So he was seeing it in these different theaters, and we saw the movie. Goddamn, I wanted to just sit there and watch it again. It was so great, so great. Zing, 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 zing. Yeah. I was having such a great time. I just got fucking swept up in it because fucking, dude, Boogie Nights is so great. It's, what, get the uncut, get the DVD with the extended cut.
Get the uncut.
I'm serious.
Get the uncut.
Oh, I see. You're going with a kind of a dick joke about Dirk Diggler.
Dirk's
Sure.
big, so it's uncut.
Well, he's a star. He's a star. He's a star. He's a big, bright, shining star. There's a scene, if you get the uncut DVD, if you get like the director's cut, it's got an extra like 45 minutes or something on it. The scene where Mark Wahlberg, it's a scene within the scene. It's the movie from Brock Landers where Brock Landers is sitting at the bar and he's talking to Luis Garcia, who's a bartender, who's not really, in real life, in the movie, he owns a nightclub, but they've given him a part. So he's trying to talk to Mark Wahlberg, and they do the whole scene where Mark Wahlberg keeps going, take it again. And they have this weird conversation, and it's all bad acting, but they're restarting and shooting and they're filming it. Dude, it's this Mobius strip of bad acting. It's so fucking great. You have to see it. Just that scene alone. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or the extras, but it's just because it goes on and on. I think it's like 7 minutes of bad acting of them back and forth doing bad acting, but it's so great. Dude, Boogie Nights is the greatest. The greatest. I might watch it tonight. Nah, can't. Won't do it. Maybe I'll pull it up on Netflix. Damn it! Don't have it. I don't even know how I got into that, but I was talking about the download sets, and those are available. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, Year 5, Year 6. Or the Reservoir Schmidt Dogs box set. Please remember we sell artwork that will be autographed by myself and Lily and David. We sell the Yurt Dirt Dirt t-shirts. Those are available. I do have select cities like Denver and Atlanta also available. You can write me if you're interested in those, possibly. And then we have, of course, For the Life of Schmitty. That's a single that was available. That is from actually the interlude for Year 5. So if you are interested in just the single, we have that available. And then we also have Schmitty Comes Alive, which is the download of me at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival, which I'll get to in just a second. And also, please don't forget that the Big Angry CD is out there. And let's talk about our friend Polestar Joe. Joe is the guy who, he was one of the dudes who, he got into Rock Sugar with me. I was introduced to Rock Sugar by our friend in England, and unfortunately I don't know who the gentleman's name is. I've lost it, and he probably doesn't listen anymore, but that's fine. But he's a great guy, and he was another guy. He introduced me to another metal band too. But anyway, he told me about Rock Sugar, and then is he in England? He might be here. I think he's in England. I don't know where he is, but whatever. He liked Rock Sugar, and he told me about it. I feel stupid. And then when I listened to Rock Sugar, I was like, oh my God. And then Polestar, Joe worked for Polestar, and he got involved, and then we went and saw Rock Sugar together. There's actually a photo of us together posing with Rock Sugar online. I think it's on my Facebook page somewhere in my photos. Well, Joe wrote me this week, and he's like, hey, I got to talk to you, man. I just got the Big Angry CD, and I don't know why it wasn't nominated for a Grammy for spoken word. He said, because I was riveted by it, listening to that final story. It's really unbelievable. And then at the end, he was like, I love you so much. And I don't know if he was teasing me and making fun of me. I thought he might have been kind of mocking me a little bit at the end. I hope he really liked it, but I was proud of it. So the Big Angry CD is available out there. We're selling it, obviously, and I will autograph it if you buy it through the website. You can still get it from aspecialthing.com, but if you buy it through me, you'll get it personalized and autographed, and I will send it off to you. I was proud of it. I was happy to do it, and I loved it, and I hope you will get it because it was my first CD. And then the performance at the podcast festival, I guess, kind of counts as, it's not really a CD, but it was a live performance that we put out. It's almost 90. I think it's 90 minutes, so that's about as long as the CD itself. But that's also available. And that was a comedy show, and it's a story I told then that I've never told on stage again. So you can go ahead and pick that up. All of that stuff is available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com at the Joe Business page. And in the upper left-hand corner of every page on MikeSchmidtComedy.com, except for the title page, yes, I know, there's a little Schmitty, and you can click on him. He's got his pocket out, and you can donate to the show. You can donate one lump sum, one amount, or you can donate $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month. Thank you so much. Anybody who is a subscriber, we do appreciate that. I wish I could offer some sort of bonuses for you. I need to find them or figure out what they could be for subscribers. I'm kind of doing the show, and like I said, I've made myself a little small. I have the plans. I got big plans. I got big plans, Dirk. But right now, thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. You keep the show alive, and that's great. I'm at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival in September 27th, 28th, and 29th. There's all sorts of shows you will like to see, but if you want to see me, I'll be performing either on Friday night or Saturday afternoon. Tickets are available right now at tinycc.40yearoldboypod. Are we sure? Can we double check that? I don't know if it's 40-year-old boy pod. I don't know because I don't think honestly, it doesn't strike me that you made it that long because it was a Tiny CC. Pick up that guitar and Tiny talk to me. 40.
F40YOB.
tinycc.40yob.pod.com. 40.
No .com. It's tinycc.cc/40YOB pod.
Tiny.cc.40. What is it?
Tiny.cc/.
Okay.
40YOB pod.
Tiny.cc/40YOBPOD. Go there, buy tickets, buy passes, buy weekend passes, buy 3-day passes, buy 1-day passes, buy one show passes. I don't know what they're selling. But the Los Angeles Podcast Festival is always a great time. It's so fun. It's at the Sofitel in Beverly Hills this year. And you will get to see Graham Elwood and Chris Mancini do Comedy Film Nerds. You'll probably get to see Rock Solid. You'll get to see Jimmy Pardo do Never Not Funny. You'll get to see The Bomb Squad. You'll get to see Red Band. You'll get to see Yeah Dude. Probably get to see Allison Rosen, Doug Benson. There's just tons of your favorite podcasters there. I'll bet all of the All Things Comedy guys are going to be there. Bill Burr might even be there this year. I don't know. Again, they announce the shows later as they sign them. But I can tell you right now, I will definitely be there either Friday night. Let's put it this way. I will be there Friday. I don't know if I'm performing. So you can meet and greet me. I'll be there. And then Saturday, I will be there as well. I'm performing one of the days. I don't know which one, but you can meet me and see the show at some point one of those days. But come on out to the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. Go to tiny.cc/40YOBPOD. That's tiny.cc/40YOBpod. And go ahead and pick up tickets. Because this year, where you buy your tickets matters. Because it lets them know who is buying tickets for what show. And it also allows us to make money. I guess we're getting a chunk of the revenue. So if we're selling tickets in our name, we are going to get a certain percentage of those tickets sold. And look, I know you love your other shows. I know there are big shows that you want to support. But keep it indie with Mike Schmidt. Why not support us through Tiny CC? Go ahead, pick up that wallet and talk to me. That's what I say, folks. Pick up your tiny wallet and talk to me. It'd be fantastic. So go ahead and get tickets to the LA Podfest. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'll figure it out. I got months. I got a month, 2 months. I don't know. But it'll be a prep for me also going on the road and coming up and whatever. I'll talk about that in the future. But go ahead and get tickets. I'd appreciate it. I'll meet you at the Podfest. And now I'm leaving. And I will tell you this. I mentioned earlier, I was like, oh, I'm so excited to get out of here. I'm not really. I'm a little trepidatious, if I may use that word, in your presence. I'm trying to figure out exactly how this is going to go because it is the middle of the week. It is Wednesday. This Saturday, July 26th, I think. July 26th is my 30th high school reunion. And I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't. I'm excited about it because, again, it's going to be fucking great and fun and good. But at the same time, it's going to be awful and strange and weird and all of those things. Because, I went to the 20th by myself because at the time Karen had taken a powder. So I was solo. And so I went there and just I had a good time because I was with my friends. And I've talked about it on here before what happened because it was great. All of the pretense was gone. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was nice. And it was just everyone was willing to just talk to one another and be friends and be adults until the reunion ended, the official reunion part ended, and we wound up in a basement somewhere with Mike Urso on a chair and Melvin Davis trying to tell jokes and them trying to get me to do comedy, and it just went, and Nex and I just staring at everybody going, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy. But it was exactly what I wanted. I wanted to have that much crazy. I wanted to have an elevator open and have Mark Pruitt sit there and go, oh, and then just fucking have the doors close in his face as we drove off. I wanted this weird shit to happen. I wanted Mark Pruitt to hook up with a girl from our class, and I'm not going to say who, and I probably shouldn't say anything because Mark Pruitt just got married. Never mind. He doesn't listen to the show, so it doesn't matter. Mark. Because I don't know if anybody remembers that, but who cares? Again, and honestly, if his new wife is angry that he hooked up with somebody in 2004, then I say that marriage is doomed already. But that's the thing. I'm really excited about the 30th because I don't know. Because I will tell you this. I feel like high school ended fucking yesterday. If that. I feel like I might still be there because as much as I think I'm a grown up or I'm an adult or I've done these things and I sit around and I listen to fucking Dragnet, I still know that I am an idiot. I am like a fucking class A idiot. I don't think I have matured, but I have matured, but I don't think I have. But here's the thing. I don't think I look like a guy who matured. I don't think I look like a guy who's grown up at all. I mean, I live kind of in earbuds and t-shirts and I don't have to wear a suit. And I mean, I just want to see the horrendous damage time has done to guys in my class, people in my class. And Facebook is good for that. And I've talked about that on here before because there are people, and that's the whole thing. I want to see the whole spectrum because I'm friends with Dave Hernandez. All right. You guys know Dave Hernandez, artbydmh.com. You've heard of him. Dave looks like he's been encased in amber since high school ended. He literally looks exactly the same. Exactly the same as he did. His hair was taller, but he hasn't lost any of it. He just has a closer cut. And he looks exactly the same as he did when we were in school. It's ridiculous. Now, take a guy like Jim Cosdrin. Jim Cosdrin looks like he should own the grocery store on Sesame Street. I mean, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what old Ray hit him and took away his hair and his life force and left him a burned out husk of grayness. I mean, it's just, he looks like a storm front because it's just nothing but billowy white clouds and gray. I mean, he's just coming at you. He looks like a human bowl of oatmeal and I want to see it in person. I don't know if he's going to be there. And again, I should tell you this. I saw him at the 20th and I knew him in high school. I like Jim. He was a great guy. He was super nice. And at the 20th, he was super cool. And his wife was really pleasant and awesome. She was great. But I see him now and I just go, oh my God, like, because I look like a car that people might have taken care of. And I think it's because I was fat for so long. So it's like literally I've just been swaddled in butter my entire life. So I couldn't have the chance to go old. I couldn't have the chance to go bad because I've been encased in a huge thing of fat like all around me. So I couldn't spoil. But other people who look normal, they've just fucking drifted off. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to think, and I'm excited to see that when I get there. But I also, you know what I want? Here's what I want. Because Mex is going to be there, and the UN of Evil is going to attend. The UN of Evil will be there. It'll be Mex, and it'll be Woj, and it'll be Big Guy, and it'll be Dennis, and it'll be Ak. I think Ak is coming. I don't know. If Ak comes, there could be trouble. Not really. Ak's a good guy, but it's like, but you know what? I want to be. Like, Ak always wanted to have trouble with me, but I want to try to talk Ak into trouble with others. I want to be like the bad devil on Ak's shoulder and go, let's do something terrible. That's what I want. That's what I want more than anything. Because I don't know if Jeff is coming. Because I talked about this a few months ago where I saw Jeff and he's like, I'm not going to that fucking thing. And I go, yes, you are. You are. One night. Give me one fucking night in 10 years. Just come to this thing and hang out with your friends. It'll be fun. Oh my God, he hates his friends. And I guess I can't blame him. We're kind of terrible. And that's fine. I mean, fuck, I just spent an entire show telling you how I almost murdered a guy with my car in front of children. So, I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't want to hang out with me. But holy fuck, man. I mean, I can't believe he won't come. If he won't come, I'm going to be so pissed. We may go to his house. Like, literally, all of us may just go to his house and bring the fucking reunion to his place. Because if he doesn't show up, God damn it, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with you, Jeff? He doesn't listen. He's not even my friend on Facebook. He's on Facebook, but he doesn't friend people like I don't. So we're in this, like, weird fucking stare down. It's not really a stare down. I don't care. I never go to his page. It's not a thing. But it just makes me laugh that he's just there. He's just, you know why? Because again, he's grown up. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He doesn't give a fuck about us and our antics. And then I'm in an email loop where all my friends are planning to go to Vegas in September. And I wanted to go, but it's the weekend of Podfest. So I unfortunately had to back out. But this email loop, I read it and I'm just like, oh my God, we're all jagoffs. We're still jagoffs. Here's my favorite thing that was written in an email. That's right. I'm going to give it away. They're going back and forth and stuff. And my friend Jimmy O is like, hey, I'll tell you what, I don't want to stay because they're figuring out who's going to, there was a joke about who's bunking where. They're trying to figure out what hotel they're going to stay in. And, Mex's wife said, hey, can we give like girls in some rooms and guys in other rooms? Like just fucking get away from you guys. And then Jimmy O, she's joking. And then Jimmy O goes, I'm not bunking with Dennis because I don't want him to open up the fucking blinds at 7 a.m. And Dennis writes, this is all in emails, chain back and forth to one another. And Dennis writes, oh, you're a pussy. I'll bring you one of Kelly's sleep masks, who's his wife. And fucking Jimmy writes back, I don't blame her for having a ton of those since she's got to wake up next to you every morning.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, the wives are getting these emails too. This is the back and forth among guys who've known each other for 30 years. And but you know what? I marinated it. I'm just like, I'm home. That's right. It's a fucking email chain full of jagoffs, and I fit right in the middle of it. God damn it, it's fantastic because that's what I want. I want this weekend to be just a weekend of jagoffery. I want this weekend to be us throwing cherry tomatoes at Marilyn. I want to go to Marilyn Apollo's house and throw cherry tomatoes at her grandparents now. That's the thing. Are they still alive? I don't know. We did it before. When we were in high school, we threw cherry tomatoes at her entire family. Let's go do it again. Let's go egging. I want to be a jagoff this weekend. If I'm going to be there, I'm going to do this. And the thing is, I'm bringing Jill. Jill is actually coming to my reunion. And I know that that's probably dangerous because I know that Larry Zuberdot is going to hit on her and I'm going to have to put his head through a fucking wall. I know some weird shit is going to happen. Or she's going to get caught, like, because she even said to me, I said I was going to bring her, and she's like, well, you're not going to, like, leave me alone, are you? I go, dude, I will never leave your side. Are you kidding me? That's not happening. Because I know how terrible that can be. Like, all of a sudden, I turn around, and then she's talking to fucking Patty Bean for an hour and a half about corn. And it's like, oh, no! Jill's totally going to break up with me because she got put on Weesbrook Farm. I don't want that to fucking happen. You have no idea what Weesbrook Farm is. There's people I grew up with. Judy Weesbrook, they had a farm, like Andy Weesbrook and Judy Weesbrook. And so it was Weesbrook Farm. It was on the edge of Bolingbrook. And so I just picture her getting sucked into the Weesbrook family, and they're all talking about corn. And poor Jill is just sitting there going, why aren't you saving me? And meanwhile, me and Ak are like making fun of people. Like I can't do that to her. So, but part of me wants to be such a stroke this weekend, dude. Because it's the last chance. Because we're all going to be dead soon, right? We're all going to be dead soon. We're old. We're almost 50. I think this weekend should be like, remember that movie fucking, what was it, Old Dogs? Where like Travolta and Tim Allen all pretended they weren't gay and they got on motorcycles and rode around in leather to, I guess, prove they weren't gay, which absolutely does not at all prove they're not gay. Was that Old Hogs or Old Dogs or Road Hogs? I don't know what the fuck it was. But there was that, and then there was like fucking, the movie Grown Ups with like David Spade and Adam Sandler and Kevin James, and they're like, yeah, man, we're all, this is awesome. And then their wives come out and they're like, boo, our wives are mean to us. And then their kids are in a slip and slide and they do stupid things. I don't want to do that, man. I want to Dazed and Confused it. I want to rent a fucking Dodge Charger, and me and the UN of Evil just climb in it with fucking 10 dozen eggs and baseball bats, and we just egg houses and smash mailboxes all goddamn night. All goddamn night. And if the women want to stay behind, that's fine. If they want to come, that's fine. We'll rent them a Dodge Charger. Get a Dodge Charger full of chicks. Hey, what's your stripper van doing? Let's take that. I'll drive that across the fucking country. I'll Reuben Kincaid the fucking women, and we can go ahead and egg shit, and we can fucking hit things with baseball bats and have a great fucking time. So I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'll be here next week. If I am here, I could be on bail. If I am here, I may be wearing an ankle bracelet. I don't know, but I want to do hijinks this weekend. I want to do shenanigans this weekend. Literally, this show starts as a tiny snowball, and at the end, hundreds are dead at the bottom of a ravine. I mean, I get that. Believe me, if there's any show in the history of the world that does not need to be transcribed for posterity, it's this one. I like when nobody can see the seams. I like when I'm able to kind of just, fly with the bees wherever. When I have to actually stop the bees and ask for directions, that's not fun. I just like unleashing the bees, but when the bees have to stop in mid-flight and we all have to kind of look at each other and bust out a fucking map, that's not fun at all. I want to saddle up these bees and ride, goddammit! I'm done.